Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of Aiming for the Bushes. I am Bishop Corbin Barnes, here with Apostle Cole Brand, and follower of God, BJWP.
Hello.
This week, we watched an animatronic bear movie.
Because there's nothing going on in his stupid little head.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
What happened? Your balls drop off?
Get off my lawn. Get off my plane.
I want to suck you off, Steve.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
It's too damn bad.
You thinking what I'm thinking, partner? Aim for the bushes.
Oh my gosh.
We completed the full rotation of movie selections. And it's back to Cole again.
It was Cole's turn.
I decided you guys told me I could do holes again, so
Well, you can only do it once.
We
There,
said,
guy.
we said holes once every 10 episodes.
Yes.
That was a strict rule at the beginning, and we're sticking to it.
which I don't agree with, but I accepted it.
We can veto that at a later date, but
Yeah.
The
I
Country
don't know.
Bears.
the Country Bears.
Country fucking bears.
I thought this would make for a good discussion. We're taking a deep dive in the Country Bears. Let me just set the stage here for people who maybe you've never heard of this movie. It's about this world where humans and bears coexist. Well, humans and bears coexist in the real world.
Yeah.
too, but
Yeah.
bears, they can walk and talk and they can like mow the lawn and shit.
Human bear hybrids.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
they're
but mostly bear.
They're
physically
Yeah.
they are like almost,
But-
I would say,
yeah.
100% bear.
always on they're bipedal, 2 legs.
Yes, they walk around on 2 legs. They can talk, which is definitely a human trait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have jobs, and then this centers around this quartet of bears. They were what? Something happened.
Nope, you're good. Sorry to distract you.
I can't see Cole.
Now I can
Oh,
see
there we
BJ.
go.
All right. Anyway,
Minor adjustments.
and this centers around this quartet of bears. They were a big time country band back in
Like
the day.
really big.
like
14
like
platinum
Beatles
records.
level.
Yeah, like 27 singles, #1 charts.
Yeah, and they would sell out arenas and stadiums probably too.
Of course, yeah.
But they had a falling out somewhere after 1991. That was their hibernation tour.
Which is very punny.
And
That's not really even
Because
funny.
they're bears.
because bears in the winter,
'Cause-
but then in the winter they sleep. They sleep.
Bears
Yeah,
do?
yeah.
Yeah.
Bears do.
Yeah.
If I didn't
Yeah,
understand,
bears do.
if I didn't understand that, then I wouldn't have thought the joke was funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Duh.
I think it's worth mentioning that this is the first ever Disney movie that's based off of an attraction.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
No
was.
way.
The attraction is called the Country Bear Jamboree, where it has. It's in one of the.
It's like an animatronic thing.
Yep,
isn't
it's like Chuck E. Cheese
Yeah.
band.
They
Oh
took,
my
they took
gosh.
those exact animatronics off of the ride.
Yeah.
And they put them in this
Because there's characters from the animatronic show that are like the main characters in the movie. A big tragedy with this movie was how much money it made, which was negative millions.
Negative.
Estimated budget was like 35 million, and the box office was about 18 million.
A 4.2 on IMDb.
It's a low score.
I'm not even sure.
Out of 10.
I don't remember the first time I watched this movie, but it was probably in a theater.
Yeah, it was directed by Peter Hastings. This is his only director outing.
He was like, masterpiece, I'm done. One and done.
he did do voiceover work in the Captain Underpants movies, and
those were
what else did he do?
great movies,
the
too.
the Kung Fu Panda TV show.
There's a
wow.
TV show?
Of course there is.
There's a TV show of everything. There's a School of Rock TV show.
Is that true?
They're still sticking it to the man, dude. That's all that matters.
That's still on like right now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Gnarly.
Don't quote me on that. Jamie, you look that up.
You're Jamie. All right.
School of Rock. Yeah, I would say that. I think it's still going.
As you look that up, I'll to get into this this picture here. So it starts off with a montage of the Country Bears in their glory days, and they consist of Fred Betterhead,
Fred Betterhead.
his brother Ted Betterhead, Zeb Zuber,
who is
Sam Zimmer.
He's
Stephen Root.
Stephen Root. Well, Fred Betterhead is Brad Garrett, and like Everybody Loves Raymond. If you have like a big character, you need a voice.
Yeah.
You either get Brad Garrett or Patrick Warburton.
Patrick
He
Warburton.
must have been unavailable.
Those booming big guy voices.
Yeah.
The deep.
And then
Hey, Peter.
Peter. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you lied to me about the poops.
You lied to me. Bonnie, you lied to me about the poop sack.
And then there's also Tennessee Walker. What's his last name?
I didn't write it down.
Tennessee something.
Tennessee something.
Oh, I was gonna say you should pull this movie up on IMDb because I don't know who a lot of the people are. But
10-4, Chief.
Yeah. And that's the four there. And Fred or Ted is basically John Lennon. He dresses and looks like John Lennon.
yep,
And
same glasses.
yeah. And during this montage, Let It Ride is playing, which is such a simple thing to sing about. That could be a legitimate country song in real life, I
Yep.
think.
Tennessee O'Neill.
O'Neill.
Yeah. And the School of Rock, the TV show, was canceled in 2018.
Ooh.
Was that
It
Nickelodeon?
was on for
That's pretty
it was
recent, though.
Yeah, it was Nickelodeon. It was on for like maybe a year and a half or like 2 years maybe.
I didn't even know that was a thing. And yeah, and I noticed so they're showing like an old concert of theirs, and I think it was 3 out of the 4 bears were wearing pants, and Tennessee wasn't wearing pants. And I just, what's appropriate and what's not appropriate when it comes to bear clothing, or what they have to cover up.
That's a good point.
You know, that's just
Well, I mean, if they're acting as humans, then they should probably have to.
yeah. But Tennessee had his willy out. We couldn't see it because
Tennessee just
Yeah.
hanging and dangling.
Probably a lot of.
maybe that's why Trixie was so in love with her.
Trixie.
Trixie!
They all got rabies from Trixie.
Probably a lot of civil rights issues in this.
Yeah, she seemed like
I'm
she
I'm sure.
spread rabies around for
Hope
sure.
she has a good HR person.
Yeah, Tracy St. Clair. We're like Tracy, fuck all the bears. Anyway, the bears
Trixie
are jumping
blows a
around
lot.
like superheroes and stuff.
Oh, yep. They're like stomping on the. This is during their montage, highlight
Cozy.
reel footage. Like they were stomping on the stage at a live show, just like destroying it, and they were doing like wire work, like a old kung fu movie. And
Yeah. They were dangling from the wires.
yeah, which I would love to see.
Fred was
at a
doing
show.
cartwheels,
That'd be
and he's like a 400-pound bear.
And
he also stage dove.
Yeah, he
because he
stage
invented the
dove.
stage dive.
Second movie in a row featuring a stage dive that we've covered.
in the opening scene as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
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 You know, keeping the theme.
We were talking about simulation theory earlier. Here it
Talking about
is.
simulation. There you go, dude.
And
Living in
yeah,
a simulation.
and, you know, that's when so it's Barry watching this on his television set.
Barry Barrington.
Barry Barrington, and yeah, let's talk about that. So our hero is this young bear. His name is Barry Barrington.
Yep.
And he's adopted by these human parents who named him Barry Barrington. And their names were Barrington, which is coincidence enough.
That is
and then
very
they
coincidental.
lazily said, fuck it, let's call him Barry.
Kind of too on the nose, I think.
Yeah, and it's spelled B-E-A-R-Y.
Like not
That's
even
weird.
B-A-R-R-Y.
No, that's the
They
human
actually,
spelling.
yeah, they like
this
actually
is
named
German.
him.
They had to make
Barry,
it more humiliating.
right.
Yeah, you're a bear. But then Barry, he goes down to dinner after watching that thing.
It's like there's like a behind the music on the country.
On
Bears.
the Country
documentary
Bears,
type
yeah.
thing. And Willie Nelson was a part of that too. I should mention.
Yeah, Willie Nelson
The
made his first
documentary.
cameo.
And then that's when he hears Fred say on the TV, "You can be different and still fit in." And then Barry's like, "Yeah, I do feel different, and I don't fit in." And he goes downstairs and he's eating dinner with his family, and then he asks his parents, "Am I adopted?" It's Haley Joel Osment, by the way.
And that's when it's revealed that his family is actually
His family,
Shitty.
they're humans.
Yes, they're humans.
and they're shitty. His parents are nice. Besides the fact they named him.
No, so they're like, he asks them, "Am I adopted?" And they say no, which isn't
Yeah,
true.
That's a shitty parent.
But he
That
clearly
pretty
is.
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
He's a bear. And what's wrong with having a bear son? There seem to be bears all over the place in this world, walking
Yeah.
and talking.
Right.
You know?
Especially, I mean, hell, there's a country band full of
There was a
bears.
famous country band full of these bears.
So what's
Yeah.
wrong with having a bear son and telling, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly a bear, and you're clearly humans.
Right. Why not just like make
And you
that
named him.
distinction obvious?
They named him Barry.
It's like Santa Claus, but way worse because it's your son.
because your son
Yeah. Just a lazy.
and his brother. Oh my god.
Oh, Dexter. They didn't name him Human-y or Manny or something like that.
Did he get out of my laboratory?
That is a very mischievous name. I feel
Dexter, you don't. Dexter's one of those names where you hear it a lot, but do you know anybody named Dexter?
I don't.
I don't know.
I don't know
Nope.
anybody's
No.
names.
Dexter Fowler.
Dexter.
Ooh, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I
the
don't
Cubs-
know.
well, the Cubs are
Dexter
stupid, so-
Laboratory. That was his last name.
for him anymore.
Did he get out of my laboratory?
I remember, you know how Dexter walks in Dexter's lab, how he like drags his feet.
Yeah.
I remember I did that in like preschool because of Dexter one day, and my like, I don't know, teacher or
Yeah.
supervisor at preschool was like, "Quit doing that." So I
Hey,
did.
knock it
Which
out.
changed your life.
Yeah.
Hey, you're not Dexter.
Probably for the better.
What do you think you are, Dexter?
Hell, you think you are, you little
You're
nerd?
not that smart.
Seems like a good thing to make fun of a kid for, so I'm glad she shut it down.
Yeah.
Well, then she saved
Before
you a
I
lot of
embarrassed
grief.
myself.
Yeah.
Good move.
I would not have let that slide if we would have.
Most impactful individual in my life, probably.
Shout out to
No idea.
preschool.
I don't even remember who my kindergarten teacher
I
was.
remember.
even know where I
I had
was.
2 of them. I remember what they looked like. I don't remember their names at all.
I don't remember.
But they taught me about They taught me about taxes and buying a car.
And the color blue,
and
and
also 2 + 2.
How to
Yeah.
cook.
and my life was forever changed.
Yeah, that's why I'm who I am today.
After I learned shapes, it was just phew,
It's like
fucking taking off like a rocket from there.
I'm building a rocket. That's how smart I am.
Preschool education is overlooked.
Just don't forget the fuselage.
Yeah, well, yeah. We put the fuselage after you put the restrictor plate on.
Yeah.
Then you put on the nose cone.
Then you put on the nose cone.
Yeah. Or cone.
Cone.
Whatever.
Whatever.
And then, so he's talking to his parents, and his dad tells him, well, you know, everyone has a higher purpose. And he's like, higher purpose? That's how he talks the whole movie to me.
Yeah.
And
Bad voice.
he's like, and
It was a really bad voiceover.
yeah. And his mom's all, hey, you know what? We will love you just as much as we love Dexter. And then dad's like, maybe more. Dexter's sitting right there. If that wasn't mentioned.
Yeah. No wonder.
Dexter is an asshole.
Oh,
so-
yeah.
No wonder
Dexter's
he's such a shit.
eager for attention because he gets verbally abused by his parents who love their bear son more.
Yeah, they're obviously the parents obviously have an obsession with the bear son over their own human son.
They've always
Yeah.
wanted a bear son, but they got this stupid human one.
Stupid human son.
Maybe the parents are just like really into bears.
Maybe that Barrington isn't really their last name and they changed it.
That's what I
Because
kind
they're
of
so
thought that
into
too.
bears.
It makes it creepy.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like I don't think they're too nice. I think they're too nice. And I don't even think Dexter's even. Maybe Dexter was a bear at one point and they shaved him.
Whoa. Like
There's a
did some
theory.
sort of ritual and got him changed.
That's possible. If it's raining Sunday afternoon, it's gotta be the right amount of lightning and thunder.
Yep.
You can change a person
You
into
can
a
change
human.
a person
You
into
can change
a
an animal into a human.
Depends how you set up your altar.
That's true.
That's true. You know, you guys said
Well, and you also need the right the right fragrances and
right. I was gonna say candles. Yeah.
yeah, right fragrances and
Yeah. And the right.
the
people.
moon has to be in the right
Oh,
spot
forgot about
as
the moon
well.
and the wind. Can't be
Oh,
too windy,
oh,
but it has to
okay.
be a little windy.
It has to be a little, yeah. A nice breeze,
And
if you will.
It's not like an annoying breeze. It's just right. It's,
Yeah,
it's
a
like when-
brisk-
like an old lady at church is like, "Oh, it's a nice breeze." It's like
Yeah.
one of those breezes.
Right, like someone opens the door to go outside to you scream at their kid because their kid won't stop fucking around at church.
Yeah.
and it lets a breeze in, and an old lady's like, "Oh,
I was like,
my.
"Oh,
It's
keep that
beautiful.
kid going." Huh?
It's a beautiful day
The
outside."
whole church laughs.
and everybody's like, "Oh, Ethel."
Oh, Ethel. And then Ethel trips and falls down
Yeah.
the stairs and
Yep.
dies.
Stands up too fast, faints, has a heart attack,
You know
dies.
Yeah.
You know what else I just thought of? People laugh at old people jokes harder than they should. It's just like funnier because an old person said it.
True.
Oh, you mean when old people tell jokes?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like when people make fun of old people.
Like,
That's what I was like,
Wait, what?
I feel like sometimes it's like a sympathy laugh.
well, yeah.
And like an old person, like, "Oh man, he zigged when he should have zagged," and you're just like, "Ha ha ha!" And it's like, no, that's fucking stupid,
I'm not
man.
saying
Why'd
old
you say
I'm not saying
that?
old people can't be funny, but we give them a little extra.
Yeah, well,
to make 'em
some-
feel good.
Gab, you don't think old people are funny. That's why you brought this
What do you got against old people, man?
I didn't mean to shoehorn it in there.
Apologies to our elderly audience out there.
Go back to your knitting.
MASH is on.
Okay, again.
Don't get me started.
All right, but they diss Dexter. They diss Dexter. Dip, 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 dip. And then they say people who love you the most, that's your family. That's what his daddy tells him. Daddy,
His real
human.
dad.
Zaddy.
Yeah. And then Dexter, they both go upstairs to their bedroom. Dexter and Barry, the bear, Barrington. And Dexter's like, you are adopted. You're not a real person. And he starts showing pictures of them. He showed a picture of Dexter when he was a baby, and then he showed a picture of Barry. And there was just like a park ranger
Holding him upside
hanging
down.
by his ankle.
Here's my birth certificate. And he pulls out a birth certificate, and here's yours. And it's like a collar and tracking device.
Yeah. So that was a park ranger. So maybe are bears just like recently part of society? Why was there a park ranger?
Because they're still catching wild bears.
Yeah, what's up with that? There's no wild.
I think the writers didn't think about this at all.
Need to put more thought into this. This is what bothered me when I was
Yeah.
a child. Where do the bears?
Maybe
where do the bears come from?
Maybe if Country Bears was rated like PG-13, we could have got some real world problems in there, but it was just rated G. So
R-rated country bears,
were they
and I want Rhodey to be the central character.
Trixie's like a hooker.
It's like, hey, Don, Trixie. Yeah, anyway. All right, so Dexter's showing the baby pictures, and he also shows this tracking device that the Rangers used to track him, which comes into handy later. He throws it in the trash, but it's weird that they continue to keep that around in the house, especially in the son's bedroom. And
He had it in a box.
yeah, and he just throws it in the trash. And then it's later in the evening, and Barry's sitting in his room. Barry's the bear, by the way.
Barry Barrington.
The kid. He's in fourth grade. So he's in fourth grade, which is about what 8, 9 years old.
Yeah, he's probably like 8 or 9.
So, but wouldn't that be like a full-grown bear?
Yeah.
And he's. I guess they just.
And when did they catch him? Like when
Yeah.
did they like get him? Because he wasn't that much bigger.
He seemed like slightly smaller.
So many questions.
Yeah,
Did they like get him when he was 7?
Steal him from
maybe
Maybe there's like a bear adoption agency where there's like
could be.
the park rangers are just like getting paid under the table to snag these
Ooh.
baby bears.
It's like a kind of like a black market.
Probably some
adoption
good
agency.
money
Oh
into
my.
that.
Hey, if you see a bear out there, maybe help him out.
Yeah, put in.
You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there's a family for that bear out there.
Yeah.
It's up to you to
You-
kidnap it and put it in there.
Sometimes the male grizzly bear will eat the child.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll eat a kid. It'll eat a kid grizzly.
Kind of an overreaction.
Yeah.
Kind of.
This
Like,
ain't
why?
mine. This ain't my kid.
I mean, I guess that's kind of morbid,
Yeah.
but I guess
Good thing,
right.
good thing humans don't get rid of their unwanted babies that way.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No, I've heard babies don't taste very good.
That's how you get abortion legalized in Texas. You have to eat your
You have to
baby.
eat your baby.
Yeah.
God.
No, I guess I wouldn't eat a baby. You know.
Well, in South Park, the guy who played Superman ate babies, and he got big and strong.
I haven't seen a lot of
Maybe I'll give babies another try.
It was what's that? They put like cells in you,
stem cell.
stem cells. It was like stem cells. He was like eating.
Stem cells?
Yeah. I'm gonna jump across this table and judo kick you in the
Watch out for
throat.
Budo. Budo.
Budo.
God, what?
Go on.
Lost my fucking train of thought now. God damn it.
All right, let's
Stem cells, yeah. Fucking Christopher, whatever his name was. Christopher
Walken.
Reeves,
Oh.
not Christopher Walken.
Who was in
Christopher
this
Reeves
movie?
was eating babies on South Park because
Oh.
stem cells, and it was making him strong. Continue.
He fell off a horse. He couldn't walk anymore, let alone fly.
Well, he was Superman. So, like, I thought only Kryptonite killed Superman.
If I go crazy, then will you still call me
I
Superman?
left my body lying somewhere in the sands of time.
Will you be there holding my hand?
Superman's
We're only
just-
halfway through page 1, so.
keep it moving.
So he's sitting. It's later in the evening. He's sitting in his room, and then Fred Betterhead's poster starts talking to him, and he's like, yeah, "You can be different and still be happy or whatever." And so Barry runs away. He packs his shit and he runs away, but he leaves his Game Boy. Oh, remember that? And then it shows mom and dad crying the next morning. She's got her tissues, and Barry left a note that's just full of scratch marks saying, "I'm going to find my purpose" or whatever. And then he's on a bus.
Purpose.
Yeah. And he's on a bus. He takes it to Country Bear Hall, which is famous for the Country Bears playing.
It's a bit of a religious site.
Yeah,
in a way.
basically.
It's kind of like a mosque or a coliseum, maybe,
Yeah.
It looks like a church or like a barn.
or like a
kind of.
longhouse that Vikings would build or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have they have that long word. Yeah.
Word.
They would have that long table where just all the Vikings sit in
Yep.
line. They eat their muskets
Eat their
Muskets.
or whatever the word
It's
is.
called musk. No,
Muskets are like the
What's the
musket's a gun.
Mutton?
Yeah, mutton.
Mutton. There you go. Mutton. Thanks, Gab.
drink their mead.
Drink their
Drink
mead.
their mead.
Have a nice tall horn of ale.
Yeah, after a successful battle.
I know. After a successful pillage.
You hold this.
Yeah. Call me Cabby 2 mics.
Winka, winka, winka. A winka, winka.
We do call you that. Now I know why. And as Barry, the Bear Barrington, is approaching Country Bear Hall, Chris Walken's character pulls up, whips in. With,
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, with the same car that the warden drove in Holes. That's not true, but that's.
That's not true.
That'd have been fun if it was.
And then you're introduced to Harry, the bear, Harry Taylor, and he kind of like runs Country Bear Hall, I guess. He gives tours to people for 25 cents.
Kind of like a groundskeeper.
Yeah,
Really cares about his
And there's
grass.
Big Al who cares about the grass.
Yeah. Oh, Big Al cares about the
Who is not Ron White. He sounds exactly like Ron White, but he's some guy from King of the Hill or something.
He is the skipper in Major League.
Who was King of the Hill?
I think it was Ted or Tennessee. One of the
Tennessee.
It was Tennessee, yeah.
He was in King of the Hill?
Tennessee, he played Khan in King of
Oh
the
yeah,
Hill.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
And so they're running low on funds, and I guess he must work for the bank. Christopher Walken does,
Yeah.
and he
Work for the
really
bank,
he really wants.
The bank
there's
works for me.
So there's 6 years. There's 6 years. Like behind in payments, they owe $20,000 to the bank. Otherwise,
$20,000.
if they don't get it soon, the bank is just gonna fucking destroy it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Chris Walken wants.
I feel like $20,000 is like not that much for 6 years.
Well, if your mortgage is, say, $500, $600 or $700 a month, times 12, times 6.
for that big of a place, though, it's gonna be pretty pricey.
Well, if the country, if they've had the hall for a while,
They had
perhaps
the
their
hall.
mortgage payments
It's
aren't
historic.
so bad.
Could have actually paid off some of that
It's
mortgage.
never explained what happened to all of the Country Bear cash because they were extremely successful group, and then they broke up. And it's never explained why they broke up either.
I guess
Or is
has,
it?
has been. It's never really explained why they broke up. They do say earlier that Ted was the reason they broke up, and then Ted's like, "I'm the reason we stayed together," and that's really all that's said about it. So it's up for interpretation,
I guess. You just gotta imagine.
Yeah. Who do you think happened to him? You think Trixie was involved? I bet she
Wow.
was.
I think Tracy.
Yeah,
was
she was sleeping around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's getting tossed around.
Ted's not the nicest guy. He probably was the first to do it,
Yeah.
and then Trixie wanted more Country Bear, and then she tricked, roofied Fred, and
Well, in Tennessee had a opioid problem, so
yeah. And Zeb had a honey problem.
yeah.
So yeah. And introduced to Henry, and then they're behind in $20,000, like we were saying. And then Christopher Walken just really wants to hear the sound of crunching wood.
I want to tear down the Country Bear Hall.
Yeah, And right now, we don't know why he has such a disdain for the Bears and the
Hates
Hall, but he hates them. Yeah, and then Barry pays 25 cents for a tour. It used to be like $5, but they decreased. You could see they decreased it over the years
Because they had to make some money.
because nobody's coming. So they're trying to make good deals for everybody. And then Christopher Walken leaves. And then we see Big Al hammering a sign on top of the Country Bear sign. And then Barry's all, hey, what is that? And I was like, that's a sign. And then it says, Country Bear Hall's going to get destroyed. And Barry's like, they're going to tear down Country Bear Hall? And Big Al's like, yeah.
And Barry's been jerking it to Country Bear Hall his whole life, pretty much.
He had he made a model for school, and he got an A+ on it. But the teacher wrote a note that said, "Is everything about the Country Bears?" And maybe to him, he is in 4th grade.
Yeah, come on. That teacher really crushed his whole soul.
Everybody crushes his soul.
Literally,
Nobody wants to give him
his
the time of
brother
day.
told him that he was adopted, and
He literally said, "You don't belong here."
yeah,
That's the last thing he said to him before he ran away.
Yeah. Bad brother.
dick. He was awful. He was just mean to everybody.
Reminds me of how BJ talks to his brothers.
Yeah, not true.
It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch.
Asshole. That is not true. I love them very much.
I don't like my brothers.
He loves you very much, Francine. I don't like my brothers.
Anyway, so after the sign thing, we go back to the family, the human family, the Barringtons, but they're humans, they're not bears. And those 2 bumbling buffoon cops are there. And one of them is played by, what's his name? Diedrich something?
Diedrich Bader.
Yeah.
Yep, Officer Cheats.
He's in stuff, yeah. The other guy is named Ham. It's Ham and
Yep.
Cheats.
Officer Ham and Cheats.
Yeah,
It's kinda funny.
I get that all the time.
Yeah.
Go for some ham and cheese right now. And
Ham and cheese.
With tomato sauce and pepperoni and sausage.
maybe.
Ooh, yum. Oof.
Here's a pizza for you.
There's a pizza.
You should order a pizza right now on the pod.
What should we get?
The door that he would show up at's just out of frame.
Maybe we'll ask him his opinion on the Country Bears.
Hey, what do you think about the country? Hey, we're doing a podcast. Why don't you come in here and...
We might have to stop. He's calling me.
Oh, just answer it on the pod.
Yeah. Hey, we're doing a podcast.
Put him on speaker.
If you can.
Hello? Oh, you guys are gonna have your baby?
On the phone, we have future 2-time dad Colin Brandt.
Colin Brandt. Jeez. Do this for me. Do that for me.
Oh, stop the podcast. I gotta call my brother.
My name's Cole. I'm a little bitch. Not kidding.
Just fire it up with the next scene.
Yeah, it was Ham and Cheats.
We're only at 30
Yeah.
minutes, by the way.
Or what?
30 minutes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Ham and Cheats. Officer Ham and Cheats.
Yeah. And the mom comes in with a bunch of food, like a big old chocolate cake and a bunch of food.
A full dessert
Because
spread that you'd bring to a...
She bakes when
show.
she's
when
stressed.
she's upset, she bakes, and her son's missing.
Yeah.
So
Pretty
you
upset.
could cope with it worse than that, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, what a great time to visit that house, you know?
She
Yeah,
could,
that
she could
cake
just
looked
be
good.
drinking.
The cake did look good. She had a lot of stuff on that tray. And I was like, damn,
Yeah.
there's probably some good-ass cookies on there.
Yeah, I could go for a cookie.
I love cookies so much. That's my favorite dessert. Cookies and cheesecake.
I have cookie dough in the fridge.
Go make some cookies.
We should, yeah,
You guys
we'll
wanna
make
get-
some later.
We got
Get
this
weird.
pod. Go make some cookies.
All right.
Get weird and make some cookies later.
Get the extension cord and I'll
There you
be
go.
in there
Yeah.
talking.
The extendo clip.
And Barry.
Barrington.
Barrington.
Who is a bear?
He is a bear. They give the cops a picture of him to find him. Mm-hmm. And we also, that's when we find out the mom spells it, what?
I was thinking they gave him a picture. Why not just give him a piece of fur? Because he's a bear. But I'm like, that's not funny at all. That's stupid.
They're like, the cops are like, what does he look like? And she's like, he's got brown hair. They haven't told. They didn't tell
all
the
over
cops
his
he's a
body.
bear initially, which would probably be the most helpful piece of evidence.
And so BEAR is the spelling
Barry.
of Barry Barrington,
Who is a bear?
who is a bear. And there was this one part. What did he say? Oh yeah, that's later. I'm getting ahead of myself.
You're getting excited. Don't worry.
And so we cut back to Country Bear Hall, and Barry is getting a tour of the hall by Henry Taylor. He's also a bear.
He is also a
Did we
bear.
mention that? He's also a bear.
Yep.
And Henry starts talking about the glory days of the Country Bears. He used to stand up in the rafters and listen to the notes,
Notes.
the music. And it was like this the highlight of his life. And now just him and Al all alone in this big hall. All Al cares about is grass. What about Henry and his needs?
Yeah, he doesn't even think
Yeah.
about Henry.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
I think I'm thinking that I think that Big Al might just have fucking Alzheimer's or some sort of disease because
Yeah.
that's not how he said he used to go up and sit in the rafters and listen to music
that's
and hear
Henry.
music.
That's not
Henry
how
did.
sound works.
Henry, that was Henry.
Yeah, not big. Big Al is the big.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Big Al's the big bear, big
Right.
black bear with that loves the grass.
Okay. So Henry is the old fart, or he's just an alcoholic.
He could also be an alcoholic. Yeah.
On that, honey.
What else would you do?
Yeah, I guess if you're hanging out in a bear hall that nobody comes to,
Yeah.
You get blasted.
you just get
Yeah.
freaking
not around.
blasted,
You
man.
get, you get blitzed every
You get
day.
friggin' wrecked, man. He's probably drinking a bottle before
You
dinner.
put on the thong
before
song and
lunch,
talk about the good old days.
Yeah.
drinking all that moonshine.
What else would you do? You're just in this hall. Like, it's boring. There's no
nothing to
concerts there.
do.
There's no concerts there.
Nobody
anymore.
wants to come and hang out in Country Bear Hall no more.
Rarely are there tours.
Yeah. Barry's the first one in forever. The only guy that comes around is Christopher Walken.
Christopher
and he just talks
Walken.
about how he wants to destroy the place.
I'm gonna destroy Country Bear Hall.
Dude, would you fuck off?
Jesus, we're only
leave us
6 years
alone.
behind.
Christopher Walken was also nominated for a Raspberry for Worst Supporting Actor for this movie in the O2 Razzies. Didn't win, which
Who won?
I don't know. My research didn't get that part.
You got to go the extra mile. We'll talk about this later.
Hey, Jamie, you want to pull up who won Worst Supporting Actor?
2002
Jimmy, pull that up
Razzie
for me.
Awards.
Also, this is the oldest movie we've covered so far. 2002, and we had a couple 04s and an 03 last week.
Yeah, we're really in the golden era of cinema.
Truly.
And Henry also does mention that Jimi Hendrix opened for Vanilla Fudge in the Country Bear Hall. Vanilla Fudge, I don't think, is a real thing.
No, Jimi Hendrix is a real person.
Jimi Hendrix was a real person.
Purple Haze.
And I wrote staying in the rafters. And then that's when Barry gets the idea to get the band back together. You got to get the band back together. Raise some money, save the hall.
Raise
what
some
you gotta
money,
do.
save the hall.
Yeah.
We also realized this movie is kind of like a hybrid of two other movies we covered, like Dodgeball saving the hall, saving the gym in Dodgeball, and then School of Rock getting the band together and saving the day. Like, there's really no day to be saved in School of Rock, I guess. He just wanted to win.
Well, it changed his life. It was the first day of the rest of his life.
Yep.
That really he changed.
Yep.
He had a band again.
Yep.
This is what we should have said.
He used the
last
kids.
week.
Yep.
And Henry's like, I said stop. He doesn't want to hear it. He's like, there's no way we're gonna get the band back together. And then it's
crazy.
Henry walks back into the hall, and Big Al is in there. He's like, "Dumb kid, we can't do that shit." And Big Al's like, "Well, sure we
do that
can."
shit.
Yeah. And Big Al's like, "Yeah, I bet we could." And then Henry's like, "Well, maybe you're right." And then he overhears Barry outside playing his little guitar, singing a little. Maybe he wasn't singing. I don't remember.
He was singing.
He was singing. And then Henry walks outside to him. He's like, "Turn down that fucking racket."
He drops a hard F-bomb.
Yeah, this movie was rated G.
Crazy.
Yeah. What he actually says is, "Hey, this isn't all." Maybe you're right. Maybe we should get the band back together. He's like, "But we're gonna need some transportation," and that's when
What are we gonna take?
I'm not sure where they go, but the bus is just in the shed, and it just backs up without the door opening. It just backs through the door, and that's when we're introduced to Rhodey
And it's chicken.
and his
his
chicken, who's named Mr. Chicken. And when he walks out, he's like, "Have you seen my chicken?" and then he's on Big Al's grass.
He was making a mess on my grass.
The Barrington house. The Barrington house.
The Barrington house. And, they were given that picture of Barry Barrington, the bear, the kid. And as they're leaving, the Diedrich, how do you say his name? Diedrich.
Yeah, Diedrich Bader.
Who's
Diedrich Bader. Officer Cheats. Officer Cheats.
He's like, or the mom's like, "Are you gonna find him?" And then Diedrich's like, "We're gonna do more than that." And then Officer Ham is like, "What are we gonna do? Find him twice?" And then they finally leave. And then we see the bus riding to our first pickup of the Country Bears.
We gotta get the band back together to save Country Bears Hall.
Yeah. Henry was into the idea, so they got the bus, and Rhodey is driving the bus because that's what he does. He also plays the drums, and not a lot of love for Rhodey throughout this movie though.
I think why they had a human as their drummer was
For diversity purposes.
Either for diversity purposes or because they couldn't have somebody in a bear suit playing the drums.
Yeah, because you have to move too fast and too often.
Too much articulation.
Yeah. Well,
but there is Jim Henson's Creature Shop
Yeah.
provided all the like suits for the bears, and they had like puppeteers doing like the bear, like they wore the bear suits. And I think there was some moments where they used animatronic bears, but do you think when they recorded like the audio, like the voice actors had to like match what the puppets were saying?
What the mouth?
Or do you think they did the voiceover first, and then on like set they had to they play the audio of the voice, and they tried to like do it for the mouths, because the puppets were done for like a human bear animatronic ride into like a live action movie. Like the bear suits look pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're
fucking goofy, but I mean, they're like eyes and mouth and everything. It didn't look like old taxidermy or something.
I feel like it'd be easier to record the audio track first and then do it like over and then change the mouths, right? Also, Jim Henson is the guy that created the Muppets. Oh. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Kermit the Frog.
Speaking of the Muppets, the 2011 Muppets movie just rips off the plot of this movie.
100%. It's the same plot.
Got to get the Muppets back together to save
original.
Muppets Theater. Jason Segel, Amy Adams.
Can't blame. I mean, you don't mess with a good formula, you know.
Yeah,
well, I guess you're right.
This is the Country Bears we're talking about.
Yeah. It's one of those movies where you can
movie.
predict the whole movie if you.
Oh yeah, did you really think Mr. Chicken was a girl the whole time?
I knew as soon as I saw it.
Did you?
You did not.
Yes, I did.
And also Betty. Well, I don't want to spoil it. We'll get to it.
Yep.
Get to it.
And and Brody lost. Or Rhodey. His name's Rhodey, not Brody. I thought it was Brody.
Nah, that's all right.
And the chicken was fucking up his grass. And then, like I said, they ride to Fred, and we are introduced to Fred Betterhead. His last name is Betterhead.
Unfortunate last name.
Yeah.
So that's a lot to live up to, I think. And we find out he's a security guard at some concert or video shoot is what it is.
Yep. He plays a giant harmonica.
And there's this. Yeah, he plays a giant harmonica that his daddy gave him.
It's the scale for him, but you know.
Yeah, relatively speaking, it's large. And I guess the main focus of the video shoot, her name is Crystal. She's a human with eyebrows that are
extremely thin.
Yeah,
shaved them off.
She looked like, I don't know, like
looks like
not like a real person.
Yeah.
No.
Like she was a drawing of a person.
Right.
Yeah.
It looked like they glued pieces of hair as her eyebrows, like to her forehead.
She's
early 2000s.
She's the video shoot.
Early 2000s fashion was
just atrocious.
absolutely garbage.
I feel
colorful.
like so
The Bears were dressed better.
Yeah, right. So you know how like fashion is like coming back around. Like right now, 90s fashion is kind of like the thing. Do you think early 2000s is gonna come back around?
I bet it will eventually. Yeah. I
Potentially.
bet by like 2030 or something.
Jesus,
We're a nostalgic generation.
it's true.
Yep. All the sequels to all the movies and games and such.
No,
And it works.
it does. I mean, hey, that's what we all wanted.
See Space Jam 2, best movie ever.
I wish I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I honestly wish I hadn't seen that movie. I wish I could have been like, oh man, that's cool. LeBron James was in another Space Jam. Like, I'll never watch it, but that's kind of cool.
If I had to watch one movie before I died, I would not pick Space Jam 1 or 2.
No.
Maybe one. I might pick one.
I do.
People act like 1 was really good or something.
At the time, no.
I mean, at the time, it was pretty revolutionary. With like
it's not good at all, but it's like one of the weirdest movies because it's Michael Jordan playing himself, and they like use real life things in his career and life in the movie, and then he meets the Looney Tunes.
And he just meets the Looney Tunes.
And he has to save the world. Like, there's just no other movies. That's weird.
No, it is weird. It's a very weird movie.
As is this one.
It's kind of like the Country Bears, you know.
Kind of like Country Bears.
Why are the bears people? You know, where do they come from?
They don't tell us.
Better than sheeple.
Don't be a sheep. And then Fred reveals to he has his harmonica and he drops it, and then it says Fred on it, and Crystal's like, "You're Fred Betterhead?" And he's like, "Yeah, Fred Betterhead. I invented the stage dive. He invented the stage dive."
I remember he like scratched his belly during this part.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. They probably get fleas.
Oh, could you imagine?
I bet they
walking around with fleas.
I bet they get wicked
It's a bear.
fleas.
Yeah. They should just
They probably smell terrible.
probably smell bad. They should have their own utopia.
They really
They
should.
have to like shave their whole body,
Yeah.
or not shave, shampoo.
Yeah. Wash their whole body.
Yeah, it's just not practical.
There's probably
Not
like
practical at
special
all.
groomers.
There's no. Wow, that's a lot of hair.
Bear
Just thinking
bear
about it.
humanoids are not practical.
No, not at all.
I
They wouldn't
bet
survive.
Bears and humans are
Socially, they would not survive.
bears and humans are definitely fucking in this world, though.
Oh, absolutely.
So he invented the stage dive, right? And a bear invented the stage dive, and then Crystal starts singing a song. She's like, "Well, you should play with us. Play your harmonica, and we'll do this 2000s hip hop shit. But you play your harmonica too." And her friend's like, "Yeah, okay." And then she starts singing a song. I don't even remember how it went.
I call my sister, and how much I miss her.
It was like she's out, and they're all jumping on trampolines like it's George Lopez.
Yeah.
And then we can see Henry and Barry watching from afar, them having their little musical going on there.
Hello.
And Fred decides to stage dive, but there's no audience. You think he just was lost in the moment, I guess.
Yeah, he's thinking of the old days.
Yeah, he thought he was back in the 80s or whatever the fuck they were, 60s. Playing his harmonica with the boys.
Yeah.
Trixie's watching.
Oh, you know Trixie. That's she. I mean, he's not the only one. He's not the only one she's watching.
She's watching all the bears.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's like the only female bear that we see.
How many can I get inside me tonight?
Pour all that honey on me.
Bears have 4 vaginas. Did you know that?
No, they don't.
That's a fucking lie.
I should have said.
Can you look that up for us?
I should have been like, they have 6 actually.
Have you ever seen a hairless chimp?
Rip your head off.
It would.
And there's no people.
It would.
We still okay. Are you looking something up?
No.
No, I just hairless chimps are horrifying.
We're doing the Rogan bit again.
Right. Well, there's no people after he stage dives, and then he sees Henry and Barry, the Bear Barrington, and they give him the idea, let's get the band back together. And Fred's like, I don't know, man. I don't think so. And then he's like, who's this guy? And well, that's Barry. He's going to be around for a while. And then Barry, the Bear Barrington, gives Henry Taylor the idea to call Rip Holland to get the show promoted.
Ooh.
And he calls Rip Holland.
Classic sleazy promoter.
He's sleazy. He sets up shop in a grocery store.
Just like Dana White.
Is that a real thing?
No.
All right. And they ask him to promote the show, and he's like, well, let me check my calendar. And his calendar books, there's nothing written in it. He has nothing going on.
He's like flipping through like paper noises. Oh,
He lives in a grocery store. He's not doing anything.
Yeah, he's literally sitting in like a Office Max.
Yeah.
It's like
Staples.
fake office.
And he says, yeah, you know what? I'll do it. I'm Rip Holland. I'll do it. And Henry's like, well, amazing. Well, we'll do it this Saturday night. And Rip Holland's like, you got it, Henry. And then the bus rides to the next country bear.
Dotted all over the country, these country bears.
Yeah. all over. Yeah, they really went their separate ways. And this one is Zeb Zuber, who played the fiddle.
Yep, voiced by Stephen Root.
Yep.
Voiced by Stephen Root. The second time he's popped up in here.
Half of our episodes
he's in
feature
Dodgeball.
Stephen Root.
Yeah. Put him in the Hall of Fame.
We're gonna have to keep that ratio up,
Yeah.
Yep.
Only Stephen Root movies from now on.
guys. We're on episode like 20 something. We're out of Stephen Root.
We're out of Stephen Root movies.
Have to make our own Stephen Root movies.
But we can get them.
Yeah, we just have to see. Hey, Stephen. How you doing, man?
Hey,
Hey, Steve.
Love Office Space.
Dodgeball.
Love Dodgeball. You played Gordon very well.
I know I played Gordon.
We should only talk.
I'm sorry, I'm just a big fan.
I should only talk to him about Country Bears.
It's like about.
Did you have to get like psyched up when we recorded your
Yeah, like
lines?
Zeb Zuba. Tell me about how you got into character.
How did you get in the mind? Of Zeb
How'd you
Zuba?
really step into
How
the character?
often did you practice the fiddle? Did you? That was really good.
That was
I figured
all
if I was a
animatronics.
bear playing a fiddle, that this is what he would be like.
How long did it take you to grow all that hair?
That was a suit actually. And I didn't
Was it
even-
hard to pretend to be a bear the whole time?
You really did well.
Wouldn't he have like not been on set like at all?
I feel like you could just
bet
like
they weren't.
record it at home.
I bet they weren't at all.
Yeah.
But Diedrich Bader also played Ted Betterhead, so he was doing double duty.
Oh.
Double duty.
Double dip in there.
Double dip in there. Got a
Yeah.
case of the Mondays.
Am I right, bitches? And so they ride to Zeb, and then while we're riding to Zeb, Fred and Barry are looking through an old scrapbook that Barry the Bear Barrington made,
Looking through his shit.
dedicated to the Country Bears in their glory days. And there's an old newspaper clipping of the talent show that gave them their big break.
Yep.
Yeah, and they won that talent show, and but there was another competitor. His name was Benny Bogswoggle.
And we get-
Bogswaggle.
And we get like a flashback sequence, but it's done like Harry Potter newspaper style, or the newspaper
pictures and
returns to life, where we can see that he was like an arm farter,
He was an arm farter.
Armpit farter. Yeah.
Yep.
which
Very
is
pretty good at it though.
which is hilarious.
Yeah, very funny. And he could really kind of change the pitch of the sound of the farts. He could hold the farts, which personally I was never able to arm fart, which is kind of surprising because
Not
I was
very good,
I was a hefty boy, but I could never do an arm fart.
Maybe we should practice after this episode.
I used to be able to do it with my legs. Like it was easier with my legs.
because your thighs are so thick and creamy.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Cab.
You do
You're
have
welcome.
thick, you do have thick, creamy thighs.
I've been working on them.
I can
Yeah,
tell.
they look great.
Thank you.
All right, you know.
I'm really glad we do this.
glad we do this, guys.
All right. He hit Zeb with
Anyway,
a chair.
Zeb Zuba.
He hit Zeb with a chair, Bogswaggle,
That was probably the hardest that I left in the movie.
because he lost in the talent show.
He fucking just smacked. Yeah, he fucking hit him with a chair.
So keep that in mind. And we cut to Chris Walken is back at the Country Bear Hall, and Al is
Ton of down.
posting another sign. Yeah, and he just wants to tear it down. And he sees the reunion sign, and he's like, "What's that?" And Big Al's like, "That's a sign." That's the second time. It's a
Ha ha ha.
Reoccurring line.
yeah. And so Chris Walken finds out there's going to be a reunion tour, and Big Al slips that they called Rip Holland to promote the show.
Yep.
And he's
Yeah.
like, Rip Holland. It's kind of Big Al's fault. Anything bad that happens. And all of a sudden,
Just want a good grass.
all he wants is a good lawn. And then
I can respect that.
Big Al distracts Chris Walken.
Over yonder, a monkey.
Chris Walken looks, and he looks back, and then Big Al is way on the other side of the yard. He's like, I'm chubby, but I'm quick. And it was pretty quick, you know. It was a
Yeah,
few
that was-
seconds. I
He's
like,
like, I might be over there, over by the tree.
well, that's later.
Sorry.
But he did talk like that.
He talks like Ron White, but it's not Ron.
It's not Ron White. It's a skipper from Major League.
Skipper from Major League.
Yep.
And it cuts back to the Country Bear tour bus, and they pull up to the Swarmin' Hive bar. That's where Zeb Zuber spends his time. And they walk up to the bar, and the bartender is Queen Latifah.
What can I get you, honey?
And and she's the bartender, and they ask about Zeb, and it's like, you mean the guy who owes me $500 and won't stop calling me Cha Cha?
Sleeps
And
on my
sleeps on my floor.
Sleeps on my
sorry.
floor?
Sorry to interrupt.
He seems like a little shit.
Kind of freeloader.
Pimpy little shit.
Yeah, tippy little
Pimp a
shit.
little shit. I think a bee-themed bar is kind of a good idea, I think.
A lot of
Or
buzz.
bee and honey.
If bears are walking around, you know where they're
Oh,
going
you're
to populate.
Yep, you got like some honey-themed like drinks.
Ooh. That bar would probably get a lot of buzz.
Double.
Barry talks to a Cha-Cha. Well, actually, they made it with Zeb, and he's getting like his back massaged by the Barco scratcher.
Do you think that was supposed to be like a hint at like some sort of alcohol usage or?
No, I think it was just. It reminded me of like it was like a back scratcher machine mounted to the wall in the bar, and it reminded me of like the test your strength machine. Like,
yeah,
It reminds me of
yeah.
like those little bar
Okay.
gamey things. Like, oh, we got a back scratcher mounted to the
Dude,
wall.
some people get real bent out of shape about those.
Yeah, and like the punching bags.
Yeah, those. That's what I meant.
Yeah, people
get real weird
people
about
freak-
those.
It's like
I can punch hurt you, bro.
brings out their deep-seated like inferior feelings or something.
Yeah.
And they gotta sprint like 6 feet and overhand right the bag as hard as they can.
You can get like 400.
But if you get the high score of the night, you get a free drink.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten the high score?
Me?
Oh.
No. Me?
What do you mean? You could have some fucking power.
You got a CM Punk shirt on. You're a tough guy.
Yeah, you
that's
do have a
true,
CM
but-
Punk shirt on, dude.
But he got
Come
his
on,
ass
he
kicked.
punches.
He gets his ass kicked, generally.
But he always gets up.
But he punches
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. But you're tough.
I'm the toughest guy I know.
Oh,
I'm just not strong.
gotcha.
You agree, though? I'm the toughest guy. I'm the toughest guy that you know, too.
I agree that you're not strong.
Yeah.
All right. He's getting his back scratched by the Barco scratcher.
Yep.
And Tennessee's all, well, not Tennessee, it's Zeb. Zeb is all, Henry? Fred? Is that you? And Rhodey's right there, but there's no love for the Roadster.
No, nobody loves
Yeah.
Roadster.
Nobody love, that's what I mean. Just keep your eye out for that, because
Drummer's the backbone of the band. He's driving the goddamn bus. Can't even say hi to him.
Him and his chicken.
he provides the cocaine. He's the drummer.
Yeah.
And so he owes Cha-Cha $500. And then Barry starts talking to the Choster, the Cha-Choster. It's Queen
Choppy
Latifah.
chop chop.
Cha-cha slide.
Let's choppy chop chop. And he bets Cha-Cha that, hey, I bet Zeb Zuber can beat your house band in a little musical duel, and if you win, you can have the bus. If Zeb wins, he doesn't have to pay you money. And she's like, yeah. And this is just Barry working, like going off script, doing his own thing, like didn't consult it with anybody else.
Right.
He put his a bus up for grabs that didn't belong to him.
Yeah.
Not to mention that's where Rhodey raises his kids.
Would have just given that up. Someone's home.
Yeah. Which begs the question,
Stupid
where's
kid.
his kids now? If they live on the
Where were
bus.
they at the whole movie?
Yeah.
Probably back at the Country Bears Hall, maybe.
With
You never-
Christopher Walken?
with Big Al?
Big Al's a good babysitter. He's good with kids.
All he cares about is his grass.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's fair.
You never see, if that's true, you never see the kids. All he talks about is the grass. The kids could be
Maybe
elsewhere.
Maybe Big Al put him to work taking care of the grass.
That sounds like something he'd do.
Yeah.
And that's when he raises his kids. But then they start having their musical duel. It's the house band, who's this, I don't know how to describe him. It kind of looks like Wayne Newton, and like a little Elvis in there
Yeah,
too.
a little mixture of those two. That's a good
And just like
comparison.
I don't know, like a rock country guy from
Rockabilly.
Rockabilly, kind of like, and then they had Zeb playing the fiddle, so it's kind of like a Charlie Daniels type thing going on up there.
Went down to Georgia.
And they play a nice little ditty. It's not really like a battle, though. I mean, because it's like the full band versus him. They more like did a duet.
Yeah, it's all about
Or let's do it.
yeah, in ways that make you feel good, you know. And but he calls but they do kind of go back. They kind of spit back and forth for a little bit.
Yeah, they do.
Zeb calls the house that guy, the lead singer of the house band, a local bartender in the neighborhood, and everyone's like, "Oh, bitch!" And Zeb sucks at first, and on the fiddle, like he seemed a little rusty.
Just want to hear
But then
play
the second
fiddle.
verse, he does really well. which he does so good that people forget about the first verse, and he actually wins and gets to keep the bus and doesn't have to pay Cha-Cha any money. The $500 that he owed Cha-Cha. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, I don't know why she gave him that much money in the first place.
Yeah. I mean,
And wasn't he a famous... How do these guys have no money?
that's what I was thinking earlier. Like,
What happened to it?
they blow it all? Did the
He must have
fucking
blown it all
promoter
on honey.
swindle it
On their
all?
drug addictions.
Yeah. Zeb was the honey, and Tennessee had the opioid addiction.
Yep.
And Fred did too much LSD.
Yeah,
clearly.
Fred was always tripping.
And Ted was the... I think he was the only sober one, and that's the reason he left, because he wanted everyone to get off the kick the stuff.
Get off the
But
the sauce.
He didn't want to get wrapped up into that. So maybe it was a wise decision on his.
Maybe that's why they didn't tell us in the movie, because the movie's rated G.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Kind of wish they would have let us know.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of eating away at me. It has been since
I'm
2002.
not gonna be able to sleep tonight. I'm just gonna be thinking
That's why
about.
I showed you this movie, because I wanted you guys to feel how
I'm gonna
I've
be
been
able to sleep
feeling
for weeks.
since I was 6. And yeah, so they keep the bus. I wrote, I guess Zeb won. They didn't really say, but I guess Zeb won. And then we go to Christopher Walken, and he's in his office in his red underwear and green slippers,
In his
Bunny-
underwear and
bunny
slippers.
walking around his office.
I noticed there's a TV playing in the background that just had like explosions going on.
Oh my
Yeah, I saw
gosh.
it. But he's still wearing like a suit and
He's
tie,
wearing like a
like a
shirt.
jacket with underwear, like
It was really weird.
Like at a Zoom meeting
kind
that
of
day or
like a
something.
Matt Lauer kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like when the girls
did Matt
walk in,
Lauer
although
do?
they see it, he's sitting at his desk. You don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure that's what Matt Lauer did, but he probably
What did he do?
Well, he
had like a
he had like a
button.
button to lock the door in his office, so like women couldn't escape.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's weird.
And then he would have his way with him, BJ.
Interesting.
Pretty
What-
dark stuff.
He's a piece of shit.
He's a piece of
Yeah.
shit. Well, he's no longer on the Today Show.
Well, he's
Now
no
we don't
longer
know
there.
where in the world he is.
Where in the world is? Could be anywhere. That was good. Where in the world is Matt Lauer?
Where in
Where
the
is
world
he
is
now?
Matt
You
Lauer?
never hear about him anymore. Is he has a wife and kids too. I'm sure that didn't go well.
That's too bad.
He's like, oh, no, I'm going to sleep on the couch tonight. Probably.
Yeah,
He said,
don't
that
be
day.
a shitty person.
Well, he's a multimillionaire, so he's probably fine.
Yeah, he's probably set. Yeah. But while he's in the office, he has like, I mean, what is it? The Smasher thing.
Like a giant
It's like
weight,
a giant
like on
weight.
the
Like a giant
ceiling.
weight on the ceiling, and he presses a button, and he has these little miniature Country Bear halls, like 4 or 5 of them, and he puts one on his desk at a time, and he just smashes them. He's like, "Oh no!" He feigns.
Every single time.
feigns-
Country Bears.
Yeah, yeah,
Every single time.
yeah.
He says the same thing. He goes, "Oh no!"
And then it shows him like throwing them in a pile on the ground, but it also like reuses like a shot, I think.
Yeah, like
Probably
multiple
does.
times.
Probably they only had 4, but they needed a 5th one.
Yeah.
So they just redid.
It wasn't in the
Yeah.
budget to make another
Yeah.
country hall.
And Barry had one
Out of
too in
sticks.
his room. So
Yeah, you don't want to crush berries.
yeah. What are we
His
gonna do?
teacher already
What are we gonna do
crushed
for the
his
Barry
berries.
scene? Make another one?
Yeah,
No.
jeez. We don't have the money for that.
This is the Country Bears
God.
movie.
Not the Care Bears.
Yeah, not the Berenstain Bears.
The Berenstain Bears.
That was nice. And then so after that, the cops, the bumbling buffoon cops,
Officer Hammond cheats.
Ham and Cheats, they show up at Country Bear Hall. They must have had a tip off or something. I don't know why they were there.
Who the fuck's tipping the
Big
cops?
Al
Probably
is
Big Al.
Big Al's there hammering another sign. And they're like, "Hey, what's that?" And he's like, "That's a sign." But the cop is actually talking about his grass. He's like, "Is that Kentucky something?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the fuck that was." And he's like, "Oh, well, that is Kentucky, whatever the fuck."
My grass.
And then they start talking about. They show the picture of Barry that was given to them by the Barringtons. He's like, "I have seen that bear, but in real life he's a lot bigger, not all tiny and flat." Like that.
So he doesn't grasp what a
He
photo
doesn't
is.
understand that it's a photo.
The cops are like, "Well, that's true." Like,
Like,
he
we know
probably is bigger
you
than that.
old, senile old bear.
Yeah, he's been around. How long do bears live? You look that up?
Like 6-7 years, I feel like.
No, it's longer. Than
I bet
that.
they lived like 10 or 14.
I bet it's in the 40s. I bet it's in the 30s or 40s.
I'm going to say 20s. Oh, brown bear, 20 to 30 years.
I said
Okay. Yeah.
Wow. A polar bear can run 25 miles per hour.
Dude, a polar bear will fuck you up.
Polar bears can get up to 900.
If it's black, attack. If it's brown, lay down. If it's white, good night.
Yeah.
Polar bears gonna.
They'll just
mess
kill you
up.
for no reason.
For
Just
fun.
because you're there.
Like-
They are not
Pandas are
good.
like 150 to 280.
If I had to fight a bear, I'd pick a. I feel like koala bear shouldn't count because that's not really a.
Koala bears are like little.
I could fuck up a
kids.
koala.
Of course you could. That's why you. If I had to pick a bear to fight, it'd be a panda
I
bear.
would destroy a koala.
know.
All they do is sleep.
Just grab it by its leg and,
And
snap it like
fucking
a towel.
eat eucalyptus leaves, and they're assholes.
Yeah, don't they
Yeah.
all have like an STD?
The koala bears?
Yeah,
They all have
There's,
STDs?
yeah. I think they all have like gonorrhea or something.
Koala bears.
They're just born with
It's like-
gonorrhea?
Oh, they all have chlamydia.
Chlamydia, that's what it is.
Yeah, they are exposed to chlamydia through sexual contact. The newborn and newborns can contract the infection from their mothers. So their moms.
you can treat chlamydia. They should really.
Don't say you didn't learn anything. Listen
Why the
to
heck
this.
do so many koalas have chlamydia?
Koalas have chlamydia. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Gonna have to add an educational tag to this episode.
That's interesting. It sucks for them, I assume.
Let's do it.
And Big Al says that Henry took Barry, which sounds bad when you're talking to cops that are looking for this missing child.
Yeah.
And he's like, Henry took him. And then he's like on the bus with Rhodey, and they're like, all right, we're gonna get. Well, actually, before that, that's when he's like, you can find me here. Sorry. He's like, you can find me here, or sometimes I'm over there, or sometimes I'm by that tree. And then the cops beat it. And he's like, let's get mobile. He's like, well, all right. And it's back on the bus, and the bears that are in there right now. They're all playing their instruments. They're kind of grooving at the moment.
Kind of having a groove sesh
Yeah,
on the bus, as
It's like a
bands
little
do.
rap sesh, you know. And then that's when Fred's like, "This is the harp my daddy gave me," or harm. Calls it a harm.
First entity to ever call a harmonica a harm.
That's my harm. My daddy gave it to me. It makes
Never heard it called a harm before.
no. I mean,
Not
it's
one
faster to say.
He does seem. I mean, all the bears kind of seem like a few steps down from being fully there.
They're country.
They're not the
they're country
they're not the
singers.
brightest crayons in the box.
Ain't the shop is a tool in the shed.
She was looking kind of with her finger and her thumb. Yeah. Grizzly bears.
Way
can run-
to breeze past that.
Grizzly bears. Grizzly bears can run 35 miles per hour. Did you guys know that? Also, koalas literally get chlamydia from just banging too much.
They fuck a lot.
Yeah, apparently that's how they get chlamydia.
They fucking sleep.
Yep. Fuck, sleep, and eat eucalyptus.
What a life.
You think that eucalyptus is like a pretty calming, like scent and like fragrance and stuff. You'd think that koalas wouldn't be such assholes if they're eating fucking eucalyptus.
I thought they were pretty chill.
Koalas aren't. Are koalas assholes? What do they do?
Yeah, I think koalas are usually pretty rude.
To people? Or just like to nature?
I've always been under the impression that they were pretty chill, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know much. I didn't know they had chlamydia, so what do I know?
They're super territorial, I guess.
Oh man, me too.
I guess that's not. That's
This-
like every animal though.
They
so
stare
like-
at if they stay out of my territory, I'll stay out of theirs.
Yeah.
I'd fuck them.
Would you fuck a koala bear?
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, probably would too.
I mean, it depended on which. I get to choose which one.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like a random one, then that's a no go for me.
Could be some
A random
gross looking
Could have chlamydia.
Odds are
you're
they
gonna
do
get
have
you're
chlamydia.
gonna get chlamydia.
Odds are, if you
It's
fuck
like
a koala,
it's like Deal or No
you're gonna
Deal.
get-
It's like Deal or No Deal. You get to pick from 26 koalas, and one of them doesn't have chlamydia, which is the million.
Yeah, I picked case number 22.
It's a hot koala bear, but it has chlamydia.
and then when the baker calls, he's like, "I'll give you how about I'll give you a sloth and an iguana for your case." It's like, no deal. I want this koala.
I want that koala.
And then you have odds are you have chlamydia by the end of that.
Yeah, more than
And Howie's like, I don't fuck koalas. I don't even like shaking hands with people.
Howie Mandel's standing
Let
halfway
alone
across the stage.
bestiality. He's in one of those like
Like a
orb
bubble.
balls.
Like a bubble. Like those balls that people like run and jump and like hit each other with. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to cross the ocean in one of those.
Oh wow!
That'd take a long time.
You just bob.
I think some people have.
Really
Yeah,
interesting.
if we're thinking about the same thing,
Yeah, like will you put like
you like climb inside of it,
yeah.
and you like run in it like a hamster ball kind of. Yeah, we're thinking about the same thing.
But while they're riding and on the bus, Tennessee gets brought up, who is the third member of the band, the boys, the Bears. And he's not doing so well. He's a marriage counselor. That's what he does now.
Mm-hmm.
But he himself isn't very emotionally stable. What do we got?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's also what I was thinking.
Insert shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna cross the ocean one of those.
That'd take a long time.
That'd be fucking exhilarating.
Probably get hungry.
Get eaten by a shark. I'll bring a fishing pole with me.
I forgot to draw food or supplies. You seen that Family Guy?
How would you bring food or supplies with your ball?
Yeah.
Is
Wouldn't it weigh
just,
you down?
Just roll around in there with you? Or do you keep everything you need in a backpack?
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
That's not nearly enough space for food.
Nah, to last you. How long is it going to take you to float across the ocean?
Yeah, could take days.
Could take days.
Yeah.
Enough food.
You kind of aim if you like ran in it like a hamster, but I feel like that'd just be exhausting.
You get really tired.
Yeah.
You need to sleep. You need to pee. You need to take a shit at some point.
Do some meth.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe you should just fill your backpack with meth.
There you go.
That's all you need is meth. And you're up for weeks.
And you don't
You
need
don't
to eat. Really.
You don't need food.
No, you go across that ocean, my friend.
All right, I'll get some meth and go do this.
There you go.
That's got to be the only way to do that.
Yeah, I can't think of another way
Yeah.
to get across any ocean
No.
other than doing meth.
So the Titanic crashed.
I saw that iceberg. Did you know that? Did you know that there is a theory that the Titanic was fake?
I believe that somebody thinks that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But why
And
would
there
it
was
be fake?
actually another ship that they used. Yeah.
I heard the Titanic's fake, bro.
But why? Who's getting something out of lying about it?
I don't know.
It's like when people think the Earth is flat. Like, okay, but who's benefiting from you thinking that, or for us thinking that the Earth is round?
Yeah.
Right. I'm trying to look it up. The Titanic thing. But people think that it was a insurance scam. So like one of them.
So not what you said at all.
Sorry, no, I was a little wrong. So it says one of the most controversial and elaborate theories surrounding the sinking of the Titanic was forwarded. Blah blah blah. There's several events and coincidences, that occurred in the months, days, and hours leading up to the sinking of the Titanic, and concludes that the ship that sank was in fact Titanic's sister ship, the Olympic,
So there was two.
disguised as the Titanic as an insurance scam by the owners,
They were two
controlled by a man.
boats.
I've heard of the Olympic.
Yeah, controlled by American financer J.P. Morgan, that had acquired the White Star Line in 1902. So he literally had just bought the line of ships.
I feel like I've watched a video about this because
So they
a lot of
was-
that sounds vaguely familiar.
They're the same. Two,
Yep, they
they're
were
the
literally
same ships.
they were
Two
identical. They were
huge
built
boats.
alongside each other.
Mm-hmm.
So the largest ship ever at that time. There was two of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the Olympic got like repurposed and sold a whole bunch of times, and it kind of got not redundant, but
Just like, oh, we get it.
yeah, it kind of got outdated quickly. I think.
So Tennessee is a marriage counselor, and like I said, he's not very emotionally stable himself. He has this human married couple that are clearly having issues. You know, he works all day. He wants to just come home and relax. Fair.
Fair.
It's fair.
But the woman is with the baby all day, and you know I've never had a baby,
Oh God.
but I know you gotta feed it and wipe its butt.
You know, it cries all the time.
You got to shake them when they cry too much.
Yeah.
Make sure you shake them when they cry.
And you gotta make sure the box you put them in is soundproof, so you don't hear it when Jeopardy's on.
Right. I'm
Yep.
trying to watch fucking Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Alex Trebek.
I'm sure that's a lot of work. Again, I'm not a father, but Tennessee's still hung up on his ex-girlfriend Trixie, and he is so worked up about her, he's screaming at this couple and banging on his desk. Trixie!
He's literally sobbing.
Trixie! Knocking shit over. He's wearing like a Coogee sweater, like
Yeah,
big
shitty sweater. Trixie! Just screaming her name.
And then he like kind of, I'm okay.
But he's not okay. He comes back with it. Yeah. Then the human people leave, and they're like, you know what? Yeah, I feel better. We don't feel as bad as he does. So, And then the bears show up. He's like, don't tell me we're getting the band back together. And Henry's like, oh, we are, bitch. Get in the car. Get in the bus. And then they go to a diner, and Tennessee's kind of reluctant. He's like, I don't know if I can do it because Trixie's not going to be there, and she's all I think about or care about and stuff. And Zeb's like, well, did she leave you because of that sweater you're wearing? And then, 'cause it is a shitty sweater. And apparently they mentioned that Trixie left with like a real estate guy who was a panda. Who was a panda bear. Panda bear. Which, I mean, they're probably the most attractive bears. Pandas are.
Yeah.
That and a koala.
Well, yeah. Again, are we saying that koalas are bears still? I mean, they're koala bears.
Well, yeah, a koala.
Well, earlier we were like, do they count?
Well, I meant they don't count if you're like picking what bear. If you had to fight a bear.
If you had to fight.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot what the conversation
You
was.
can't pick a koala bear. though.
That's like
Yeah, that makes sense.
cheap right out.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, koalas are number one, sexiest bear, and followed by pandas, followed by the sun bear.
Sun bear.
Spirit bear.
Oh my gosh, I hated that book. You guys remember having to read that in school?
Yeah. He got like mauled by the fucking bear, and he wasn't a shitty kid anymore.
Well, yeah, they'll change you.
You gotta be a real piece of work for it to take a bear mauling to straighten you out.
To really figure it out.
To wake you up. Yeah.
God.
This is what life really is, boy. The waitress recognizes them. Tennessee's like, no one knows who we are. But then the waitress recognizes the bears. They're like, they're the country bears. And like, you know who we are? And then she's an aspiring singer as well. But she clearly hasn't made it yet.
All waitresses are aspiring singers.
Right.
Yeah, that's just what you do when you're trying to
I'm
be
an
famous.
actress.
Yeah.
And what on what website, sweetie?
What pays the bills?
Well, she makes a good, honest living. She's a waitress at the diner, and she just wants to sing. She just wants to belt it out. She wants to let it loose. She wants to let it loose and prove her dad wrong.
Daddy issues.
She has daddy issues. And then she's like, you know, I like your song, Kick It Into Gear.
Get into gear. Sometimes you just got to.
And then she proceeds. There's a chef who's like, come on, sing it, come on. And he starts banging on pots and pans. And then they start singing Kick It Into Gear.
Full musical
sometimes.
number.
It was like the gorillas in Tarzan.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like.
It's like our bears are not in on it. Everybody else brought
like, what the
instruments with. And
People know who we are, I guess.
Busted out into a musical number.
Women,
they moved around the booths into patterns, and
Yeah.
people were stomping around.
old women are playing the sax, and they're rearranging the
Instruments
place.
coming out of nowhere.
She's like, I did my own rendition of song. We
Kick it into gear.
Kick It Into Gear.
Sometimes you just got to kick it into gear. And you know what? They're not wrong. Sometimes you
gotta kick
do.
it into gear.
Got to kick it into gear.
Gotta pick the
It's
right
true.
one.
And, you know, they're like using the stools as a DJ system.
Yeah, that was cute.
And somebody had a salt shaker when they're playing guitar.
Steel guitar.
Yeah. You just gotta. And the musical number ends, and then the bears are like so astonished, like, "Wow, I guess people do remember us." And then that's when the TV turns on and the news is on, and they're talking about the abduction of Barry Barrington, who's
Abduction.
our hero,
Also a bear.
who's also a bear, 4th grade.
Barry Barrington. He's a bear.
The Barry Barrington, and the newscaster is like, well, this man shows a picture of Henry and Rhodey and the chicken. They're all riding in this bus. If you see anything, let us know, and we'll keep you posted on Bus Watch. And then at that moment, the cops pop into the bumbling buffoon cops. Show up at the same
Ham cheeks.
diner that they're in. They just missed kicking into gear. They just missed it, and then the bears bail out. And then the cops are sitting. They look out the window. They see the bears getting on the bus. And they're like, the bears. There they are. There's Barry the Bear Barrington. And then there's a car chase. And
fast motion car chase, like
Yeah.
it was a 1960s movie.
yeah, clearly, they weren't actually going that speed. And you have to be a pretty good driver to go that speed on a bus that size.
Tell you what. But when Rhodey's behind the wheel, that thing is a lightning bolt.
He's the best driver and the best drummer in the biz. I trust him with my life, and Mr. Chicken as well.
Gotta love Mr. Chicken.
He's probably my favorite. Cock. That's what he says
The
in
best
movie.
cock.
Yeah. And they decide, let's hide in the car wash. The cops can't get us because we're in a car wash. Let's get in the car wash. Get a nice car wash.
Get the car wash.
And then the cops lose them for a second, but then they look and they see the bus in the park in the car wash, and there's a sign that says "Bingo 9 o'clock." And then Dietrich Bader's like, "Bingo 9 o'clock." It's a knee slapper. And the cops also get in the car wash. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna get him."
And they go behind them.
They follow them into the car
rather
wash
than going to the end of the car wash
to,
and like
to trap them.
They're really good cops.
Yeah, they're not. They're bumbling. Yeah, you know. And then they kind of lose them in the car wash, and then Diedrich Bader, Officer was it Skeet or Cheat? Officer Cheat opens the window and he gets sucked out of the car into the wash.
like at the end of fucking Nightmare on Elm Street when when the main character like gets into the car to leave and the mom gets like sucked into the door by Freddy. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but the way he got ripped out of the car reminded me of that.
Yeah, it's basically like that. And then he kind of gets thrown around the car, slamming his body against the car, and his mustache is revealed to be fake. It falls off of him. He had a mustache this whole time.
It was a nice one.
And then Officer Ham also gets sucked out of the car, and they're both getting thrown around. And then there's some hot wax portion of the car wash. It burns them a little bit, probably hurts, stings. And then it's super windy portion where the
Enjoy the car off.
window is just the wind is being pushed on them at super speed, and they're having trouble walking forward. But then they're able to levitate.
Yeah, they're literally like floating.
And they're
there.
like, "Yeah, this is cool."
I don't know how it doesn't blow them backward, but at that point they were just having a good time.
Yeah, and they're like, "This is awesome." And then there's just a hard stop with the super wind machine, and
They fall right on their face.
they just fall on the ground. This chair's squeaky.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens after that? So they fall, and then the car wash. We see a car wash bear, just a regular bear who's not a part really of the movie.
Just working at the
Just
car
working
wash.
Working at the car wash.
So you see that they're just other bears out there, just living among society, being bears.
So this is a bear human hybrid universe.
With
Yeah,
with
they,
the job.
they live amongst themselves as sentient beings.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and you see the cops. Their hair is Officer Ham he has like an afro, and Officer Cheats, his hair is slicked back, and then Ham's like, "You don't even your mustache was fake, you liar." And
It was a really bad fake mustache.
it was clear from the beginning, but I guess he didn't notice Officer Ham.
Even though they've been around each other for how long?
Yeah, they're not very observant of these cops. And then, so the Country Bear tour bus gets away, so they're safe. And then they stop at a motel, and Barry uses a payphone outside to call Dexter. And then he tells him that he's not coming home. You can keep my Game Boy. And then Dexter's like, "Hey, come on, you're part of this family." Before he could finish, Barry the Bear Barrington hangs up the phone on him. And then leaving Dexter kind of conflicted, maybe this is my fault a little bit. Maybe I should have been nicer to my brother.
Yeah, he was an asshole.
He was an ass. Only.
Told him he didn't belong in his
Called
family.
him a doofus.
Yeah, that's the only thing he called him was a doofus.
Yeah. It's not going to leave Barry the Bear Barrington with very much self-esteem.
No, not at all.
He's already different enough.
Yeah, clear. Yeah. And his parents continue to lie to him about being adopted. They shouldn't get a free pass. They're shitty. They're shitty people. And the bears are watching an old cartoon version of themselves.
Bear power!
Yeah. And they're fighting some alien, and you hear somebody say, "Blow, Fred, blow!" And Fred blows his harmonica, and then kills the alien. And then we go back to Barry. He's walking past this big sign that says, "Now appearing tonight, Trixie St. Clair." And then Barry runs back into the motel, and he runs to Tennessee. He's like, "Tennessee, Trixie is literally right across the street. Let's go see her, and then we can all be in the band again." And then Tennessee's like, "Oh,
Trixie."
Very convenient that they ended up right across the street.
yeah, it's destiny. It's
Bear-
higher purpose."
Yeah, that bear sense.
Yeah, humans don't have that. And then we see
sense.
Trixie performing at this. It looks like a bar.
Yep.
Most of the people are distracted watching a basketball game. She's like, "You're not listening." And then Tennessee's like, "I am,"
Which is embarrassing.
Trixie's
That
like,
is embarrassing.
"Oh, Tennessee, we used to swap rabies together." And then she's like, "Why did they break up if they still clearly have feelings for each other?" What? I mean, I know she left him for a panda, but she doesn't deserve.
She's a gold digging bear.
She is a gold digging bear.
She's a polar bear.
She'd take my honey when I leave.
Oh, she's a traveling.
Bear indeed.
Oh, she's a honey digger.
She's still my honey.
Well, Tom,
I ain't saying she
digs on me.
honey digger.
It's an emotional reunion.
They're surprised to see each other, or she's surprised to see him. He knew she was there, and then she starts singing. And Tennessee's like, "Oh, I missed you, oh," and then they started singing a duet. And
She sings like one line of the song and stops.
Yeah, she stops.
And the band is just like slowly playing and going.
Do we keep going? All right. And so they're clear. You can see them falling in love. It's like the beginning of High School Musical when Gabriella and Troy are falling in love singing that song.
T for Troy.
Remember that song they sang?
T for titties.
T for titties.
Yeah, what song? I don't remember what song.
In High School Musical?
Yeah.
It was
This could be
the start of something new.
Something
Remember that guy was like,
Feels so right to be here with you.
"Oh." Remember that guy was like, "You'll thank me for this one day," or not. Right before they did that, they should thank him for
They
that.
should thank him. He should be in the
What a guy.
next movie.
But Trixie and Tennessee are singing "Joy and Happiness," and Ted gets all. Or after that, they reel Tennessee in. He's good at playing the thing. And then the next day, Henry calls Ted Betterhead. And while he's talking to Ted, the bus is like smoking in the background, and they're pulled over on the side of the road, but it's never mentioned what happened there. Or
Yeah.
It looked like they broke down.
Rhodey must have been able to fix
It was a
it.
quick fix
Probably
for the
his kids.
roadster.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
used to fixing that old girl.
yeah, that's probably true. But Ted's talking to Henry. Henry's like, "Hey, we're gonna come and get you. We're gonna play a little reunion tour." And Ted's like, "Nope," and he hangs up on him. And then Henry lies to the rest of the Bears and say, "Oh, he's in. He's gonna do it." And I don't know why he does that, but he does. And then they ride over to this mansion where they thought Ted lived, but we find out
They thought he lived
something
there.
else.
Yeah. They're under the impression that he's like loaded.
Yeah, they think that he's got a ton of money, which is
Big nice mansion.
if they can't afford to keep their the Country Bear Hall open, but Ted's got all the money. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, one of the bears is
They
like,
do
we should
mention
ask
that.
him for the 20,000. He wouldn't notice it was missing.
Yeah.
Why does he have all the money?
But he doesn't have the money. We soon find out
Yes.
because we're at this mansion and we see somebody gardening, and it's Elton John, but they don't recognize him as Elton John.
Yeah, not right away.
And they ask him, "Well, where's Ted Betterhead?" And he's like, "Oh, he's probably at the country club, still at the wedding." And he's like, "All right." And then Elton John is like, "You guys are the Country Bears, right?" Well, I'm. And then they interrupt him like, "Yeah, you're a big fan. Fuck yeah." And then they leave. I think Zeb's like, "I think that was Elton John." And then Fred's like, Elton John's taller.
Elton John's dollar.
And they walk away from Elton John. Elton John's kind of bummed because he clearly wanted to talk. And then it cuts back to the let's talk some notes.
Talk tunes.
Yeah. And we're back at the Barrington household, and the cops are walking up to the house, and Diedrich puts a fresh fake mustache on.
He had a little case.
A little case. There's like 2 left in there.
It eases wisely.
Yeah, makes sense. And then cuts back to the Bears. They arrive at the wedding, and they get in, and they kind of all go their separate ways because they kind of want to enjoy the party that they're at. It's very fancy. A lot of fancy people there.
Very fancy.
And Fred and Zeb pop a squat. They just grab this big fish, this raw fish, and they're eating next to this old lady. She has blue hair, and she has hair like a whale's belly, says Zeb.
Yep.
And then Ted, you can see Ted socializing with some people, and then he sees Henry and Barry, and he's not happy to see him. And
He's like, oh.
Yeah. He was like, what the fuck are you guys doing here, you bear bastards?
You fucking stupid bears.
That's what he said.
Bitches.
You stupid ass fucking bears.
And then he pulled out a gun.
And then Ted pulls out
shot them all.
Pulls out their shotgun and he shoots Barry in the face.
ate
He's
every
never seen Barry before. Blows him away.
And everybody at the wedding, they're all faint. They're just fucking rich people. They just like ha ha ha. They laugh.
It's like entertainment for them, yeah.
But there's blood
Disgusting.
everywhere. Blood is all over Henry, and he's terrified. You can see the terror in his eyes.
You
can see it.
Adolescent bear with half of his fucking head missing, and it's splattered.
He's still twitching on the ground.
Yeah, it's dark moment. I don't think this was in the
Surprised
Country
it's still
Bears
rated
Jamboree
G.
at Disney World.
Not that I recall. No,
Yeah, they took a hard turn right
This
here.
was a big twist, and then Ted. I don't know how he even had Barry's parents' number, but he calls Barry's parents and like sends him a picture of his dead, his face,
his
like,
fucking faceless body.
Yeah,
we just ate your son.
Yeah, and then he's eating him in a video too. Yeah,
really
and,
fucked
and he
up.
forces Henry to watch.
Really graphic.
I was so shocked when they did
I felt
this.
uncomfortable watching that scene.
Yeah,
That scene was a little tough to watch.
BJ kept wanting to rewind it and pause it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to just make sure that I got it, right for the pod. Jeez.
Yeah. No, you're right. We need to be accurate with our description.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be,
But after they patched up Barry, and then they were good to go.
It's totally made up.
Oh, so what really happened is that Ted sees Henry and Barry, and Barry's like, "I can't believe you're gonna play in the show!" He's screaming.
He is all of a sudden he's louder than
I was expecting all the
he's ever
people in the
talked
background
before.
to like turn and look at him.
What is this boy screaming about? This bear boy.
I wonder why are there bears here? They're screaming about things.
What is this country bears band you speak of?
The country bears?
Oh, that old quartet.
That old crew that played those loud songs.
Oh my dear.
So uncivilized, those
Those bears. Oh. Back in my day, we listened to Mozart, who was not a bear.
He was a human being, not a bear.
Back when I was a kid, they played their own instruments, and the musicians were humans.
Now all these bears are running amok.
We don't need all these bears running around playing their instruments.
Bears think they're humans now.
There's a
I
bear
see.
shit in the woods. No, the bear shit's on the stage during the set.
Because bears are playing instruments now.
Bears should be in the woods.
A bear should
Bears.
be doing bear things.
Bears.
Bears.
Bears should be back in the woods, scratching their bellies and eating smaller animals.
And eating blueberries.
I spilled again, I know.
I saw a dollop.
I got too into character there.
Bears.
These bears.
No, these bloody bears.
They're always yelling at our affairs.
Bears.
The bears seen bears.
And then, so Barry yelled, and then Ted's like, "I'm not doing this show, Henry. Why'd you tell people?" And then he looks around and he sees the rest of the bears are there, and then he sees Trixie. He's like, "Trixie," and you can see his rock hard dick.
Yeah, because
Another shocking.
surprised they
X-rated
show that in
moment.
the movie.
Yeah.
It's rated
I've
G.
never seen a bear dick before until like a rock hard bear dick, and I saw it in this Country Bears movie.
Rated G.
Rated G. Made by Disney.
He didn't really show his dick.
No way.
That didn't happen.
But Ted,
Director's cut.
yeah, the unrated version. You know, somebody's jerked off to this movie. at some
Oh,
point.
for sure.
Yeah,
There's some weird people.
Someone's jerked off to everything.
that's probably true. Yeah. And then Ted takes the whole band aside. Am I poking into this chair?
No.
Okay.
I had my elbow on it.
Okay. This is my chair, so.
It's totally my
It's like an armrest on an airplane.
All right. I'm just kidding. You can put your elbow back there if
I
you
don't want to anymore.
But I now I feel bad that you don't have it. Okay, stop it. Ted brought everybody to the side. And he's like, I'm not going to do the show with you guys. I'm doing really well without you. I'm finished. And then he's like, this little nostalgic field trip is pathetic. And he was like, yeah, I guess it was a little pathetic. And then Ted's like, everybody get the fuck out of here. And he walks away. And then one by one, the bears are like looking pretty sad. And like, let's just get out of here.
Journey's over.
And then Fred stays behind. And he's like, this ain't right.
This ain't right.
And he goes to confront his brother, Ted. And Ted, it's revealed, is singing. He's a wedding singer. That's
Adam
his job.
Sandler.
He's not like he's like Adam Sandler in that movie.
Yep.
The wedding singer.
The very same.
Yeah. And Fred's surprised. He's like, you're just a wedding singer. You're not rich. And Ted's just admits like, yeah, I'm not rich. None of us have any money anymore, I guess. And you still won't play with us. And Ted just doesn't want to do it. He's tired of the Bears.
He's the pathetic one.
He is. He really is.
He is the pathetic one. He sings at children's birthday parties.
Yeah.
And then Fred's like, you know
What a
what?
fall from grace.
You're going. He punches him in the face.
Just knocks him right the fuck out.
In front
on
of everybody.
stage.
He was out cold.
Fell backwards.
We talked.
out.
We talked about Caveman being out cold in holes on episode one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was out cold on
he was
his back.
insta-death.
Like we got like a 5-second shot of him.
Just laying there unconscious.
Yeah.
Again, rated G.
Yeah. And then all the people are like, oh, these bears.
Oh, these bears.
These bad violence.
Typical
again.
bad
Fighting.
behavior.
Typical bears. Can we get
Oh,
these
these
bears out of
bears.
here? If he's not going to sing, then get him out of here.
Bartholomew, can you get these bears?
Can we get a human singer, please? How about that guy at that bar? He's pretty good. The Swarming Hive. And it goes back to the Barrington house, and the cops are still there. And then Dexter tells them, hey, he's going to be at Country Bear Hall. And they don't believe him. And Officer Cheats is like, you just said that to distract you, sports fan.
He called him
sports fan. Hey, calm down there, sports
Hey,
fan.
sports fan. He's trying to relate to him. You know?
Hey there, sport.
Hey there, sports fan.
Fan.
And then it cuts back on the bus, and Ted is, I don't know if they just picked up Ted's unconscious body and threw him on the bus.
They must have.
But
Which I
And
appreciate.
nobody even tried to stop him. Like they're kidnapping this man.
Sometimes you have to force your friends to do stuff though, and they're being
That is true.
little bitches
he
about
is
it.
being dumb. That's for sure.
He lied about being rich, which is the
That's
most
pretty
pathetic part.
fucking low.
Yeah. And he also reveals that he was doing children's birthday parties while he's back on the bus. And everyone's like, oh, but we went by your mansion earlier. And he's like, no, I was Elton John's mansion. I just rent a room. And it's like, oh my God, you're a loser. And then
Pretty much, yeah.
and they're like, well, at least we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this thing now. We're gonna be back together. And Ted's like, I'm not fucking doing it. And then he's like, he gets off the bus. And he storms off. And then everyone's like, he's like, nothing's even planned out. Who's even doing sound? And everyone's like, we're not worried about that right now. You kind of owe us because you're the reason we broke up. And Ted's like, I'm the reason we stayed together. Which
They still never really.
I don't know what to believe.
Failed to elaborate.
Yeah, I think it was the drugs.
Yeah, I mean they're all on drugs.
All that.
Except for Ted.
All that heroin laced honey.
And Ted's like, we are not a family. And Barry's like, yeah, because family love each other very much. My dad said that to me like 2 days ago.
Families love each other no matter what.
My human dad said that 2 days ago, and I'm a bear.
Yeah, but he is my biological dad.
That's my
though,
dad.
because he said who I was.
But then I found out that I was adopted, and then I came and found you guys.
Barry is now Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog. Oh, Miss Piggy.
Barry. Barry the bear. he just fucking says later groupies, and he just starts running home like he's Forrest Gump or something.
I just start running.
And he just runs. I don't know how far they traveled. It's never really said. But
You saw him in the next scene.
it seems, yeah, he's not. Doesn't take long for him to get there. And then we see the bears looking sad on the bus, thinking about, maybe Barry's right. Maybe we need to stop thinking about ourselves and start thinking about the band.
It's all
The
about
Hall.
the band.
We can't let Christopher Walken win.
No.
Dicks in our hands.
We can stay with dicks in our hands.
Our hands.
Dicks
Dicks
in our hands.
Dicks in our hands.
Dicks in our hands.
We go back to the Barrington. He makes it back to the Barrington household, and his mom is baking like 14 pies because when she's upset, she bakes.
Yep.
And Barry returns, and then there's a big reunion amongst the Barrington clan. The dad's yelling. Dexter's like, "Hey, doofus," but in a playful way.
In a playful way.
Yeah, he was nice.
Yeah.
Kind of happy to see him.
The Barringtons are back
They
together.
missed him. The Barringtons are back together. They should start their own band. The Country Barringtons.
They'd probably get sued, though.
They probably would.
That would be like
Willie
probably
Nelson
a lot
does
of
mention-
trademark infringement there.
Yeah.
Infringements there.
Willie Nelson does mention later in the movie that he got sued.
As does Exhibit.
Yeah.
And
Well, that was Exhibit.
yeah,
That was Exhibit. That was Exhibit.
stole part of their sound.
Yeah.
They sued us.
Did you steal a sample or something?
Yeah,
Yeah. So they're pretty stingy when it comes to their work.
Yeah.
It seems.
which is fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's their stuff. And we're back on the bus. Then Fred looks through Barry's stuff. He looks through his bag.
Just
He's like,
rifles through.
Barry
his
left
things.
his stuff, and he's just.
Hopefully there's $20,000 in here so we can keep it.
There's 20 grand here.
The Country Bear's all open.
Yeah, and he finds this old essay that he wrote about the Country Bears. It's very heartfelt.
Because everything's about the country. Bears.
Everything's about the Country Bears, and it's revealed why he loves them so much. It makes him feel included
Because he's a bear.
because he's a bear, and his brother is always an asshole.
So
to
mean
him.
to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of a sad moment.
it is kind of sad. And then they all have time to reflect, and that's when we get the biggest plot twist in the film. When Rhodey starts talking, and he's like, "Barry told me that Mr. Chicken is a girl."
It's a girl.
Everything you thought you knew about this movie, throw it out the window.
Changes.
Big plot twist there.
Changes.
No, changes.
Changes. And
I wanna be another one.
Christopher Walken
Christopher Walken.
is back at the hall. He's talking to a demolition man. It's like, hey, it's probably gonna be about 30 minutes, and then we're gonna fucking destroy this place.
Yep.
It's like, yes, we'll do that.
Yes, do that. I want to see the Country Bell Hall get crushed.
Oh no!
Oh no, Country Bear Hall!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Country Bell Hall got crushed by a big weight.
Not again.
Sounded Italian there for a second.
Yeah, it was kind of bad.
No, it was good. If Christopher Walken was Italian, it was good.
Yeah.
What is
Sorry.
he?
I'm not. It was good.
Jeez. Also, his
What is he?
his crushing, his wrecking business is called Slamboni.
Slamboni.
Oh yes, that's right, Flamboni, the demolition people. Yeah. And he's ready for it to be destroyed. And then Ted Betterhead. I wonder who gives better
bear.
Ed, Ted or Fred.
I will. Ted, his last name is Betterhead, so he
So is
probably
Fred,
gives
though.
the better head.
There's Ted and Fred. They're brothers.
They both give better head.
But who gives better head than the other?
Maybe they
Well,
give
F
head
comes
equally.
before T in the.
I think Fred's he seems pretty sloppy.
Yeah,
In,
he's
a good,
probably.
in the good sense.
Hey, the wetter the better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look.
So Fred gives the better head, but Ted Betterhead is visiting the Barrington family, and he walks up to Barry's room because he's got to talk to him because they've been doing some reflecting, and they read like his diary and shit.
He rifled through his things.
Ted is in the bedroom with Barry, and we see a little side thing in the background. There's a Crash Bash poster.
Yeah.
Which is a classic game
Great game.
from back in the day.
And some Thrasher magazine stickers. Most of the decor in Barry's room is Country Bears related.
You can tell which side is Barry's and which side is Dexter's.
Ah, true.
Yeah. And I prefer Dexter's side. I'm going to side with Dexter on that one.
Yep.
Yeah, crash bash. Then Ted decides, maybe you're right. And Barry is like, we're doing the show. And Ted's like, no, we're not doing the show. Kind of lures him in. And he looks him dead in the eye. And he's like,
Not without you.
And right then and there, I mean,
That's when I started to cry.
yeah. I mean,
I was
very
bawling.
teared up.
Cab, you were screaming, just wailing. BJ, you couldn't even breathe. I thought you were gonna die. Your
I
face
thought I was gonna
purple.
die. I was really, really nervous.
I called 911. The cops showed up, but you were fine when they got here.
Yeah, once they got here, I kind of stopped hyperventilating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part was a little
But
embarrassing.
that part was.
I had to pay a fine.
we had to pay
got
a
a noise
fine,
complaint from the neighbors.
but they finished watching the movie with us.
Yeah, they did hang out and watch the rest of the movie, and they understood why we were so upset as well.
They did.
We
We
had to
showed them the
rewind
scene.
They of course had seen Country Bears like everybody else.
They're
They
like,
recommend
I've
it.
seen some fucked up shit in my EMT days, but
Yeah.
nothing has hit
Right.
me harder than
That
Emotional
Country Bears
moment.
that
motion.
emotional roller
Yeah.
coaster they put
One of
Barry
those
on.
cops that were here had a fake mustache too. So.
Also had a fake mustache.
Yep.
Yeah, but it was
Nice
it was
guys.
Officer Turkey and Cheats.
Besides ham and sheets.
Yeah, they were really nice people. They were
Yeah.
really nice. One with the fake mustache was a woman though, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, made it really obvious the mustache wasn't real, but we just kind of ignored it and tried to not stare at it.
The
That
woman,
often.
yeah, the woman was Turkey and the guy was cheats.
Yeah, the guy was Cheats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna do it without Barry. They need him. He's the reason they all got back together.
Barry Barrington.
His higher purpose, Barry Barrington. His human parents named him Barry.
Because he's a bear.
It's like
He's a bear.
It's like a boy named Sue, but not quite the same.
I'd
but
rather. I mean,
it's a similar humiliation you'll
rather.
get from your peers.
yeah. It's just lazy.
It's like naming a boy.
Yeah. Hey boy.
Or guy.
Oh,
Hey guy.
Hey
Hey,
guy.
move you over here.
move
guy.
your
Hey,
move your guy there.
guy there.
Yeah, it's lazy. We're buddy.
Hey, buddy.
What was his buddy's name? Buddy.
Buddy. But so they're gonna hop on the bus. The whole Barrington clan and Ted Betterhead. But Rhodey's in the yard with Mr. Chicken, who's a girl, and he's like, "The bus was stolen. I was out having a cigarette, and Christopher Walken
With my kids.
stuck it with my kids, and Christopher Walken stole my bus and murdered my children."
Now we can really see why he's
Kill all the
wrong.
kids and steal the bus.
All part of his
And then it
plan.
showed more fast motion of the bus, and Christopher Walken's like character laughed over it. It was like,
Yeah.
Oh no!
What are we gonna do? Our bus is our only means of transportation. And they're like, well, hey, what about that tracker for that from when Barry was like alone? Like, and they dug it out of the garbage. Like, we're gonna track him with this. And so they start tracking the bears, but they have trouble fitting everybody in the car, so they have to
Attach
hold
the
the
boat.
boat.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where Ted hangs out in the boat. 'cause he can't fit in
comically,
the car.
he
Yeah.
comically rode in the boat. Almost fell out, hit his head in some shrubs.
He almost slams into a semi as well.
Yeah, that would have been
Pretty bad.
wild. Would have been like a hereditary moment, like
Yeah.
we mentioned.
Yep. Smacked his head against a
But they
Fence
followed.
post.
They followed the tracker though.
or telephone
Follow
pole.
the tracker.
Came in handy.
And Christopher Walken.
When Jack Black hands the phone. Oh, hello, this is Ned Sheepley. Ned phone.
Found Benny. Oh, no, I'm gonna hand myself. So Christopher Walken takes the bears to this like warehouse, and he has like a gun.
How do you manage to kidnap them? Were they all on the bus and he just
They
had
were all on the bus.
tranquilizer
They were all on
gun?
the bus because I guess Rhodey was like
smoking
smoking a cigarette,
Smoking
with
a
his kids. Smoking a dart.
Blowing the smoke in his kid's face.
He's like, you gotta learn, son.
No, breathe it in.
Inhale. This is why your mom left.
Because you didn't inhale.
Not good parenting, by the way, Mister.
I can't do it anymore. The damn kid won't inhale.
Now, Christine.
It's irrational to make a 4-year-old smoke cigarettes. At least to expect them to do it correctly right away.
I'm out of here. No.
I ain't gonna raise no kid that won't inhale.
How are you going to get around? We live in the bus.
What if I make him chew? Rhodey had the most tragic story of all the bears.
What a Rhodey movie.
Spin-off. Rhodey, the country bear.
Yeah. But, so they're in the warehouse, and then it's revealed Christopher Walken's plan, and why he is who he is, why he acts.
The motivations.
the way he acts, the motivation. It's revealed that he was Benny Bongswacker.
The arm farter.
I can't say his last name.
Benny
Bongswacker.
Benny Bongwater.
Benny Bongwater.
Benny Bongwater.
The arm farter.
The armpit farter.
Who shows it off a little bit for the Bears in custody.
Yeah, still got it.
He does still have it,
got it.
man.
I think
he
he's
could still
better.
hit a lot of different ranges.
You could tell he probably never stopped. He probably kept
No, he probably
Stayed in the
once
lab.
once you perfect the arm fart.
Yeah.
You don't stop.
You
pretty
don't really
incredible.
stop. I mean, I wish I could do it.
Yeah. So the Bears find out, oh, you're Benny. This is why you don't like us, because he lost that talent show.
Yeah, that was the Country Bears' big break.
That was and then Zeb remembers, you hit me with a chair. That doesn't get acknowledged though. But that was his revenge. His 30-year plan to destroy Country Bear Hall, even though the Bears have already been broken up for years. But I guess he just wanted to destroy the hall, to get rid of their memory once and for all.
Typical bad guy
I
stuff.
guess.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Country Bear.
Oh no!
Country Bear Hall has been crushed.
Country Bear Hall.
Country Bear Hall is kind of like the pinnacle of the Country Bear image, so maybe
Yeah.
that's why he wanted to take it out.
I guess I understand.
I will have my revenge.
And he locks him in a cage, like they're animals or something.
Just a fucked up thing to do.
Like they're animals.
Yeah. And then Ted almost gets by a semi. I wrote that down. I already mentioned that, but that happens then. And then they track it down. They find the bus and in the warehouse, and then they kind of lose control. And the Barrington car falls into a hole, and it bursts into flames. And the entire Barrington family is burned alive, screaming.
Yeah, it's like a 10-minute scene. You can see the fur burning off of Teddy's like face, and his eyeballs start to melt and pop, and then they pop.
And he makes as that's happening, he makes eye contact with his brother Fred through the window. So he watches as his brother melts.
He's banging on the window trying to get him out, and he can't.
Meanwhile, Trixie's in the back.
Bone in Tennessee.
The metal from the vehicle starts to melt and just pour on her face, and you see it just burning flesh off.
Yeah.
Again, rated G.
It's absolutely insane the things they pull off and can let it be.
Again, rated G.
Again,
I don't know how it got that rating.
Rated G.
Yeah.
2002, it was pretty lenient back then.
Disney was asleep at the wheel.
Nobody was offended by everything yet.
This went under the radar. I think this movie did.
It's a made-up tale.
But what really happened? They do fall into a hole, and then the boat disconnects from the car and just shoots forward through the window of the warehouse, and
Like
it
a
hits
shot
the
out,
cage.
shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, and then the cage door falls, which releases the bears.
How convenient.
Yeah, and that was pretty nifty.
The gang's back together.
And the whole gang's back together. They rescue him. They were not incarcerated very long, and then the bus. They get everybody back on the bus, and they go back to the hall. And while they're riding there, though, Dexter and Barry have this camera, and they start taking pictures of everybody together.
Polaroid.
Polaroid, yeah.
Yep.
Kind of reminiscent of the intro sequence with all the Polaroid
Yep.
photos.
Yep.
This time,
The heyday.
Barry's included.
Barry Barrington.
Yeah, but again, not a single picture of Rhodey.
Nope. Rhodey he's not a bear.
No love for Rhodey.
No love for the roadster.
Yeah. Now his kids were just murdered
That's
by
not
Christopher
rad.
So
And they're still making him drive.
yeah.
We don't care.
He's the only one with a CDL.
We'd rather read them.
Yeah. Why doesn't Barry just
Wake me
eat
up
his
a son.
family?
Yeah, that's how you find your...
He is a fucking bear. I mean, he could eat.
Does that mean there's bears in jail in this universe?
100%.
Wow.
Bear jail.
Bear jail. So they arrive at the hall, and there's no one there, and the lights aren't even on. It's like it's.
We've been promoting. We paid the promoter to.
Yeah, Rip Holland's supposed to promote it.
But where is everybody?
There's nobody there. It doesn't look like there's a concert going on that night. There's no signs or anything lit up. And then they walk into the hall, and Benny Bogswoggle is there, and that
The arm part.
dastardly Rip Holland is also there. They're scheming in the dark.
We see Christopher is handing him handfuls of money.
Yeah, so Benny Bogswoggle, Chris Walken, paid Rip Holland off to not promote the show.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Baby bird it to you.
So Rip didn't promote the show. I'm not sure why he was at Country Bear Hall at that time. I guess that's just where they meant to pay him, I guess.
They could have paid him at a better time. I
paid
think.
him any other time.
Or anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like not the middle of the...
Yeah.
Yeah. But he just needed to be there just because he's a bad guy and he's his comeuppance. That's why he's there. And but Al, Big Al, he's not Ron White. He's the guy from...
He's the skipper from Major League.
He's like, hey, guys, I haven't seen you in a while. Aren't you guys going to perform? But it's like, dude, Al, you old bastard, there's nobody here. Are you blind now, too?
Idiot.
How's your grass, you big dumb bitch?
Moron.
That's all you ever talk about.
We hate you, by the way.
Dumbass.
You know what? I completely forgot about you all these years until this very moment. That's how little
fucking simpleton.
That's how little I think of you.
God.
But Big Al had everybody outside in the back field, out back.
Oh.
Apparently, he told them to remain silent as well.
Yeah, it was
And
pretty
they all
quiet.
did it, which is impossible.
Yeah.
Now when there's a Country Bear concert about to go on, I'd be screaming. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I would be freaking out. I wouldn't be able to control my excitement.
Country Bear.
The fucking Country Bear!
Trixie!
Yeah.
Trixie!
I'd be like Barry at that wedding, just screaming uncontrollably.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to be in the band!
Yeah. But they were quiet until Al opened the back doors, and then a bunch of fucking white people just flood into the hall.
Because who else would watch
Who
it?
else would go to the Country Bears concert?
A bear band. With a bunch of honkies.
Yeah. And they start flooding in, and they like, and then they just like trample over Benny and Rip Holland.
Yeah, they like carry away Christopher Walken, and I think that's the last time we see him in the
Last time
movie.
we see him.
Oh!
He's like, you'll never get away with this.
This isn't over.
I still own the property.
And then it's revealed that there's a basket full of money. Everybody paid. It's never mentioned exactly how much, but they do say we do have enough to save the hall, get the crown, save the town, and Mr. Krabs. That's a different movie. And then Barry. Oh, so they're all backstage. You're tuning up their instruments. Mm-hmm. And Barry's like, well, hey, guys, have a good show. I really had fun with you guys. And they're like, well, where you going there, Barry the Bear Barrington? That's a stupid name, by the way.
Stupid name.
I mean, my name's Fred, but at least it's not Barry.
This is not Barry, and I'm a bear.
People already know I'm a bear.
And your last name is Barrington.
Yeah, that's a weird... we were just about to invite you to the band, but now I don't
No, I don't really want to.
But they do invite him in the band.
Nice guys.
And Barry's like, oh my God,
I'm in the band now.
I'm a country bear.
Oh, hi, kids. It's me, Mickey Mouse. Well, I'm a country bear. Sorry.
Now, why would Mickey Mouse be a country bear? He's a mouse.
He's a mouse. But you know what? Mickey Mouse could probably do a pretty damn good job
Yeah.
as a country bear.
Kick it in the gear. Kick it in the gear.
Come on, we're kicking it in the gear.
Kick it in the gear.
Come on in here, kids.
Joy and happiness.
All we talk about is having fun.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. Eagle noise.
I love making bird noises. I practice a lot. Is there a pigeon in here?
Is there a bird in here?
We're almost done.
Yep.
Some bears. All right, sorry. So the bears start singing "Straight to the Heart of Love." Straight to the heart of love, which is another title of a song that could 100% be a real title to a country song.
Yep.
Straight to the Heart of Love.
By Toby Keith.
Toby Keith. It's about the 9/11 terrorist attacks.
Kobe T. Kobe T.
Kobe Keith.
It's about how much Saddam loved to hate America.
Yeah. But America loved to love each other, so it was more powerful.
There you go.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah. There's some Bears in the crowd too. There's just some fans of the Country Bears.
Yeah.
Just
You
hanging
see-
out.
There's like not a lot, but there's a few. I think the car wash bear was there. I think
Good. He deserves.
he deserves
the ticket.
some time off.
He had to deal with that shenanigans at his place of work.
I had the weirdest day at work today. I just wanted to enjoy this concert.
You wouldn't believe what happened
Yeah.
to work.
There were
today.
these cops. One had a fake mustache.
I think it was like roast beef and cheats,
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, but made me hungry.
salami and cheats.
Do you think they serve any food or drinks in the Country Bear Hall? It didn't look like
Nope.
they did.
No, it looked like
Who
they
would
had
run it,
0
Al?
refreshments.
That would-
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of hot, angry
It's
honkies.
definitely hot. I feel like it doesn't look like there's air conditioning in there.
No,
If it's like a hot day,
it's just wood.
nope. They should.
Maybe they should have
turned
turned
It's
it
a
down.
fucking barn.
It's basically a barn.
No way that thing is up to code either. If they can't even pay the mortgage, are you kidding me?
6 years.
No.
Yeah.
Hopefully they have.
We're gonna have a
enough fire
Florida
resist.
apartment building issue here.
But you see the waitress from Kick It Into Gear scene. She's there.
Still in the crowd.
She's by herself. It looked like, and she's wearing a sexy top.
Yeah, it looked like she was tripping.
It looked like she was on some Molly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
looked like
This-
she's tripping
we
on Molly.
speculated that this whole movie might be her trip, and the band is just a bunch of
Yeah.
gruff old guys.
Yeah,
but-
just a bunch of old fat
Which
dudes.
would make the movie make more sense.
She's just a really big like Grateful
She's
Dead
at the
fan.
Walt Disney World attraction.
This is the jamboree.
standing there.
I forgot to mention earlier
Made me have to leave.
the Country Bear Jamboree that this movie's based on was one of the last attractions that Walt Disney himself had his hands in developing.
Oh. You know, he was frozen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his body was put in one of the rides or one of the attractions.
Was it really?
It's a legend.
I know on the Pirates of the
Oh.
Caribbean ride, which
Maybe
is
that's
also
what
a
it is.
movie based on the Disney attraction, there is a real human skull in like the
Yeah.
main.
There's some dark stuff there.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Disney World since I was about 8 or 9.
I
I've
would,
never
I would
been.
love to go as an
I
adult.
would. I would
I'd
love to
as an
go.
adult too.
Go to Harry
why are there so
Potter
many
World.
kids here?
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
get out of my
more
way,
for
you
me.
little nerd.
They have that. They like made like a whole Star Wars city.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that looked pretty sweet actually.
And I want to.
Because they have like life size, like they have like a life size fucking Millennium Falcon and
Yeah,
shit.
there's like the cantina. It's good. I'd love to get drunk at a cantina. The Star Wars cantina, that is.
Of course.
Like I said, you see the waitress, and then there's this hairy man who's not a bear, but he's a hairy man sitting next to Dexter. He's like, "Who's that little bear?" He's like, "That's my brother, bitch. His name's Barry."
Big dirty old man.
And Barry's just shredding his whatever guitar thing. Like he was ready for this moment. And also I wrote down you see Trixie up there. Trixie shouldn't even be up there.
She's like fucking pawing away at the keyboard,
she's
acting
a-
like she's doing something.
She's a groupie.
I think they have the
She's not-
volume on her instrument turned down really low, so you can't really hear.
Yeah. I mean, she wasn't even part of the group. Why is she up there? All she did was bone everybody.
Yeah, that's all she does.
Spread-
Wouldn't surprise me if Barry got some after this too.
That'd be dark. That'd be the darkest part of the movie.
Yeah.
Besides when they all.
You want to be a real rock star, don't you? Barry's parents are shitty. I also wrote.
Nice. Well, they are.
Because you see him in the crowd, and then at that moment, as we were watching, I was like, "They are shit. Why aren't they just honest with him? That he's a bear. He's
They never
adopted.
tell him either.
They never tell him, but he knows." And then the camera slowly pans out of Country Bear Hall. You see people are still filing in. It's pretty crowded in there. A lot of COVID cases. Probably.
Oh, probably a super spreader event.
Yeah. All those hicks at the Country Bear reunion.
Yeah.
tour.
They
Damn
don't get-
hillbillies.
Yeah, they're not vaccinated.
And as the credits roll, we see like a mockumentary, and we do see Exhibit telling the story when he got sued by the Country Bears. Willie Nelson is there.
It's like me and what was it? Bebo.
He said Willie and Zeb opened a can of honey on the White House. And that's really how it ends. And it's a happy ending.
It's a
They're,
happy
they're all
ending.
together. they made enough money to save the hall probably for like another year, maybe. They probably
Yeah.
got torn down the following year.
Yeah,
probably.
They didn't have any camera crews recording their reunion show or anything, so I'm not sure how they're going to distribute that.
Yeah.
At all.
Not much of promotion.
Nobody's even gonna know that it happened.
No.
Plus, there's still the factor of, the media thinks that Barry is abducted by these people.
Right. Yeah.
And we all
He's
know
a missing child.
We all know the media. They're never going to fucking...
They're not going to say that they're wrong.
No. Well, it was a happy ending, but then you think about it a little bit, and you're like, well...
Not wrong.
Yeah,
But that was a very fun watch. Like,
I agree.
I like heard of it and have seen like stills of the goofy fucking bear people. Watching it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I had never seen it before.
Watching anything with you guys is pretty fun.
Agreed.
Well,
what's that supposed to mean?
Well, yeah, I agree moderately. Yeah.
all right, maybe we should wrap this up before we start another argument. But
beat your
we'll be back.
I agree, kind of.
We'll be back again
really? Oh,
very
kinda,
soon,
huh?
guys.
Yeah,
Guys.
Swear to God.
Stay on target.
You're lucky.
order that
You're
pizza?
lucky. Man, I swear to God, I'll slap shit out of you.
For the Buddha.
I'm about to jump across this table and judo kick you right in the side of the kidney.
You guys are making me nervous.
Corbin can watch.
Let the boy watch.
Let the boy watch.
I'll watch, afraid in the corner, like I do with
it when you guys fight.
Stop fighting.
like I do with all your other altercations. Well, subscribe,
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
comment, and we'll be back. We'll be back soon with another bear-related movie.
Yeah.
Brother
Our next
Bear.
one's gonna
Spooky next because it's
be- Ooh, yeah.
spooky season.
It is spooky season.
It's up to you.
What to think? Yeah, it is your turn.
turn.
And you already said you were gonna do one. But
know. Maybe I'll change my
Leave it.
my hand is switch it up.
It's October almost.
Spooky season.
It's almost October.
By the time this episode's out, we'll be into October.
Probably October.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So I could do a spooky movie.
I was going to pick a scary movie my next one as well.
Well, maybe we should all just do scary movies.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Anyways.
Thank you for watching. See you again real soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.